Okay, we are live, and I am here to tell you we are having a debacle this morning. I don't know what the deal is, but AT&T has messed up, and I don't know what to say about it. It's a little bit crazy right now. So I don't know what to think. Hopefully, you guys will get this message and we can talk about it. I'm a little bit upset. I can't talk to my husband. I can't talk to anybody. And it's a little bit crazy. So I don't know what to think. Um, Hopefully, some friends will come on board here and we can talk about it. Um, hmm. Stream ended. Hmm. Oh, it says end stream. Okay. 0 people out there. Please come on and check out what's going on. Not so happy. For some reason, it doesn't show me on. So I don't know what to think about this. It has been a day, I'm telling you. We started off with hello, whoever's out there. Please leave a comment. It would be nice, and share us out if you can. We, I woke up and like every morning, hi Aidenir, good morning. Every morning, first thing I do is I give my husband a phone call, because he's my first priority, and no ability to call out whatsoever. And our AT&T website says that they're working on the problem, and so I can't text, and it's our only service that is available at this moment, and so it's kind of scary. Good morning, Bob. I gotta teach these dogs to shut up. So it's just kind of scary out there. What's going on that we have no ability to make a phone call. So if something bad happened on the property right now, I have no ability whatsoever to call. Sorry about the dogs, guys. The wind's blowing a little hot. Yes, more coffee needed. Just no ability whatsoever to make a phone call. And so it's kind of scary. And hi, Bud Files. Good to see you this morning. So yeah, it's nice and bright and early, but when I can't talk to my husband and I can't talk, hi guys, how are you doing? It's good to see everybody here. So I just wanted to talk about this subject and see if anybody else out there is experiencing the same thing with AT&T. I know that my sister-in-law, they're fine. They live an hour away from us, and they also have AT&T, and no problems there. I don't know what they're doing, but they won't tell us what it is. They won't tell us anything on their website other than they are currently working on the problem. Well, that's not good if I have to call 911, right? If I have to call 911, nobody's coming because you're currently working on the problem. Is there any other way that I can call 911 if there's an issue with an elderly person in my family? If I fall and hurt myself, if somebody cuts themselves using a chainsaw on the property, there's no way for me to get out and make a phone call and make that happen. Where is the backup? Where is the issue with that? And I had literally, hi, Mama, or Nana, sorry. I literally have no bars, and it's no bars, and then um, no bars, and then above the bars it says SOS. So can I make an SOS? Is that my only ability to get out and do this? Is that my only ability to call 911? Is it an SOS? Is it like, what does that mean? And then do I test it to just find out? Where's the communication on AT&T's website that says, okay, it says SOS, this is what it means? No communication whatsoever from AT&T. No, none of that. No emails, nothing like that. It's just when you go on their website, we're working on the problem. Well, what if you didn't have internet? What if you had internet through them? Would that mean that that's also down? So just kind of crazy this morning. And I thought I'd come up and talk to you guys about it because I don't know what to do about it. If you guys have an opinion on this, I would love to have a few people up here. I put the link out there. Yeah, exactly, Bob. So what does that mean? Does anybody else out there know what? Okay, my phone says SOS. What does that mean? That means that Morse code SOS, so I can do Morse code. So 99.9% of the world probably doesn't know Morse code unless it's the military. So if I'm military, I might know it. I don't even know if they're teaching it anymore in the military. So what's that mean? So, what does that mean? So maybe I can see. I'm glad I have Bob on here to let me know what the Morse code thing is. Yeah, so I would have to. So everybody should order a Morse code book. Yeah, I hope they fix it soon. And we should all learn Morse code for times like this when it happens, so that hopefully I can Morse code my husband. And so is this all of a sudden this fancy technical phone right here? Is it all of a sudden just something that I can use for like a radio? Is that what that means now? Let me see what Mana's saying. Okay, but it does not say that I can make emergency calls. It just says SOS. So it doesn't even give me that ability, because anybody that I try to call, like my husband, it just goes straight to voicemail. And my mother-in-law is living in the house. She has the same thing on her phone. And so I'm sure that, because my husband's phone is based here too, that he has the same thing on his phone. It means emergency contact only. There is Facebook Messenger and Skype that I can do, but of course my husband, like a good group of people on YouTube, will not do Facebook. So I have no way to message him through Facebook to see if he's well. No, I cannot call 911. Yeah. So let me see what I can do here. I've turned my phone off and on several times to see if that was the. Do I test and see if I can call 911? I don't think that's a good idea because they'll charge me. But, it would be nice to know, if this is going on, why isn't AT&T communicating if you can call 911 that you can do that? Text does not work because I text out, and I know that you can text 911, but text is not working as well. And the interesting thing is I live in a military base area. Hi, Rebecca.
This morning I woke up.
Yes.
Let me do something real quick. Yeah, it's off. Okay. This morning when I woke up, I charged my phone.
Yeah.
It had done an automatic update. I'm not getting the thing on. This is my 5G phone.
Uh-huh.
I don't have the SOS. Can't use that phone at all. But I kept my 4G. It's working fine.
Huh.
Yeah, it's working just fine. So
good morning.
I don't know what's going on with the 5G system, but I'm glad I kept my Go phone.
Uh-huh.
I really am right now.
So maybe it's just the 5G system?
I'm thinking it's just the 5G system.
Huh. Because it's only affecting some of AT&T's customers.
Well, this is the Phoenix 5, which is my LG, has 4G.
Okay.
This Sony, I think it's a Sony, what they call it, A14, has the 5G system.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking it might be the 5G system. I do know that I can, I was looking at this and I could have Wi-Fi calling through my brother's Spectrum email account that I could be able to make calls from this one. But if I leave home, I'm not going to have anything with this one.
Right.
I'm not. It's like,
right. Same thing here. So if I'm out and about or if I'm working on the property somewhere, there's no way that, I can pick up service.
True.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that I made the decision to keep both phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I'm in Tennessee,
I'm in Missouri.
Yeah, I'm on the line between Middle Tennessee and Western Tennessee.
Okay.
So closer to you. But my sister-in-law that's east of us, an hour away, she has service.
Oh.
And she has a good phone. So
yeah, this one's the newer one is an A14. For that, it's a Samsung A14. And it has the bars. The bars are all lit up, but the 5G's not there.
Right.
But it doesn't say SOS on mine. I'm like, okay.
Right. I'll show you the message that came up on AT&T. I'll have to show it because I took a picture of it.
Okay. It seemed to be right after this update that was forced on me.
Yeah, I just did an update too.
I didn't want the update.
Right.
But it automatically made it happen.
Sorry, I need to disconnect my phone from
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they show a little kid working on it with a wrench down below. Oh, that makes me feel comfortable. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. It's like, really? That's what you're saying there. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So you're just sending the kids out to fix right? And
True.
so yeah.
I'm kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
What if I was out away from home? Didn't even see this, but yeah, mine
doesn't say SOS anymore, but no bars whatsoever. See that?
Yeah. Let me see, where's my camera? See mine? It has the bars, but nothing else.
Yeah. So this is what we're looking at.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. You guys can see the camera taking pictures while we're talking.
That's crazy.
Okay, so you have an AT&T phone or an AT&T phone. If you have an iPhone, it literally takes pictures. There you go.
Let me see if mine's doing it.
Every few seconds.
I think mine's not doing that.
That's not an invasion of privacy at all, is it? It's taking pictures of my household and everything in it, and yeah.
Crazy.
Do you have AT&T though?
I do have AT&T.
Okay.
I kept it's the LG Phoenix 5, which of course they don't make LGs anymore. I love LGs.
Yeah.
Easy to work on, easy to understand, and it's still got the 4G. It's a Go phone, so there is no bill attached to it at all. So okay. It is a phone that I bought at Walmart's and put what plan I wanted on it, which I did it's $65 a month.
Yeah.
And I pay at Dollar General that card, and it's $70, and I still have a phone. But with the one that is contracted, I don't. But are they going to reimburse me because I just paid this bill for the time that I don't have a phone? Probably not.
Right.
And then I found out something about my city has been doing since May of last year. These people have been paying in the city limits for recycling $17 and some odd cents a month. But then they discontinued it completely, thinking, oh, we're going to be able to keep that money. Someone is suing them.
Oh, wow.
For breach of contract. And I hope to goodness they win.
Right.
That every single person that has been paying that $17 and they have not been picking up recycling are going to get paid back.
Right.
And trust me, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. Yeah.
Because they just said, oh, we're not going to do it anymore. And that's when the lady went to her attorney and did a class action lawsuit. Good. We need to hold our where we live accountable.
Yeah, we do.
There's a lot of people that probably say, oh, forget it. It's like, no.
Yeah.
They have been charging you this.
Right. And I think it's very interesting as far as the higher ups, the powers that be, whenever you're working with them, they seem to, when it has to be fixed on their end, they take as long as they want. And, it's just absolutely crazy. And they, whenever we fix it, we fix it. But if you have a problem on your side, you better fix it right away. It better get done. You owe us money. You better get this. And we get ours taken out every month, automatic. So I know it's not that. And I know that it comes out every month because I double check. So.
Yeah, I was surprised because I usually don't look at different things that are going on in the city. I live in the county.
That's good to know that T-Mobile's working.
Oh, T-Mobile's working?
Well, T-Mobile's
AT&T's not.
Yes. And it's funny because T-Mobile is one of those systems that connects onto other systems. Like they work off of AT&T. So how come that T-Mobile's working? They work off of different systems, if I'm correct, from what I understand, because I used to have T-Mobile, because they used to give a good, strong military discount. So we used to have them, but AT&T gives a good military discount too. And we went to AT&T because they connect with the game cams on our property. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're not working either.
So you don't know what's going on in your property?
No, don't know what's going on, and that's how we monitor what's going in and out of our property. Yes. Because there's only one way in and out of this property, deliberately done, and yeah, we monitor that with cameras, and so we can see who's come and gone on our property. So in a vehicle anyways, I guess you could still get down. There is cameras in other places too. So if they travel the least resistant areas with, they would be caught up by our deer cams, that are all over the property too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what am I to do? Because it shows bars all the way up, but no 5G.
Thank you for coming by, Mana. How do you say that?
Mona did what? I love
that. Sorry, Mona. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it.
Usually I'm not on this early in the morning. I had to get dressed, and I was like, I need to talk to her because I'm having the same issue with my phone.
Well, I mean, literally, I was up at 4:30 this morning, and because my puppies had to go out, and so, usually I go back to sleep, but I'm laying there in bed, and I'm like, I'm going to call my husband because I always call him in the morning. He's been at work for probably half an hour or so, and so I go to call him and I can't. So.
I know today, and it's going to happen soon, that Ginger at Not For Nothing is going to be telling us how many piglets they had.
Nice.
So, nice. And there she's coming on.
Oh, okay.
She's going live right now.
Okay.
So I guessed, I'll tell you, 7.
Oh.
But when I was watching the video, I says, I think I've guessed wrong.
So we're actually tomorrow going out to Rural King and picking up stuff to make a pen for pigs. So we should be getting pigs this year too on the homestead. So I'm excited about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So we'll have
at least I still have one phone that I can watch this and keep it on silent.
And then you get the results.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
no, we are. So we'll have right now. Our fridge is full of. We only have 2 chickens left from what we butchered this year, and then we have 3 deer in the freezer from our property.
Oh.
So our freezers are full. So as soon as we start processing pigs and more chickens, which we're going to do 20 this year. And then we're also going to grow out some for my sister-in-law and her husband.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're providing deer for them. He hunts the deer, and so that's kind of like his thing, and he loves to do it. So we're like, go ahead and do it. There's the property. You can use my license for the property, and then because I need practice with my hunting rifle, but he's so much better.
Did you ever think of getting rabbit?
I've had rabbit in the past, so
I have too. So
good.
And I don't now, but I'm honestly thinking very seriously of getting back into rabbit.
Right.
So that besides the meat that we get from the pantry,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have something else.
Right. Rabbit is
it's lower in cholesterol.
It is low. It's the thing about rabbit though is you got to watch with rabbit and deer is that you're going to have to supplement the fat somehow. So make sure that if you're doing rabbit or something, you make sure that you get your fats in somehow in the process of cooking it or something like that, because they're very lean.
Yes.
And they're too lean. They're too lean. That's why when you see I don't know if you guys ever seen that show Survivor, when they're eating rabbits, nothing but rabbits, everybody gets really skinny. So it's like, it's a good way if you need to lose the weight. But yeah, we raised rabbits on our homestead in Oregon when we were living there. We had 5 rabbits and bred them and stuff like that. So, and when we moved, we processed all of them. So,
yeah. But yeah, it's been interesting. And yesterday I had gotten at the pantry, they had a can of clam chowder. And I made homemade clam chowder yesterday.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh my gosh, this tastes so different than what you get in a can.
Mm-hmm.
So much. I have a feeling so much better, but I'm thinking very seriously of going to get some fresh clams.
Yeah.
Make it myself.
Yeah. We do that. Except I don't eat it because the canned products that are out there for meat, I can't eat because of the salt issue. I have a hypersensitivity to salt. It just doesn't process well through my body. So, yeah. So I can't eat canned meat from the grocery store. So I have to make my own. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
I'm going to sit this down here. I turned it up just a little bit.
Oh, there's Bobby.
Jesse is up there, and we're
about
to find.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. They're up bright and early.
Yeah, just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like once the dogs wake me up in the morning, there's no going back to sleep.
Yeah, it's about the same here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, wow, I picked up my phone and I looked at it and I'm like, why can't I go on YouTube? Because usually what I do in the morning is I'll have on my iPad one channel, and on the 2 other phones I'll have a channel where I'm doing 3.
Right.
That I'm able to do that. Well, I couldn't do anything on this one.
Right.
But I could go in and set my Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And connect it to the Spectrum.
Wickshire.
Hi, Wickshire.
Yeah, I can get, because my phone is connected to my Wi-Fi, because we have really poor service out here anyways, because we are in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're 15 minutes from a small town with two lights in it, 2 whole lights. So, so, but that's as close as it gets. So, so we have to run our phones off of the internet in the house anyways. And we have good internet in the house, obviously, because I can do this. So, yeah.
But it sure don't help you when you get away from the Wi-Fi.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was, outside at all. I can't even make a phone call in my house without the Wi-Fi in the house. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty poor out here as far as connection. You think, but we've thought about getting a hardwire line, and we're like, oh well, we don't really need it, But I'm starting to rethink that one. Oh yeah, you and your 3 bars with Verizon. Yeah, I have 0 bars. 0, 0, 0.
It's really interesting that I have full bars but no 5G.
Yeah, there we go. You can see I have Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But see, it's on Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
no,
see that.
Yeah.
Well, since you were brought up that, I sent a message overseas. FB and Skype are both up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Even overseas, so that's good. At
Right.
least not total system down.
Right.
Must be just local. At least they did send you a notice that, oh, we're working on it. So that's some comforting.
They didn't even do that for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't actually send us a message. We had to go on the internet and figure it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's different.
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, I just knocked out my light for my onions. Got to keep those lights on those onions. Got to grow my Walla Wallas.
I in fact have, and someone said, oh, you need to plant those now. I have these, like the green onion stalks. It doesn't grow into a onion. She says, you need to plant those seeds now in your house. And I said, well, I don't have grow lights.
Right.
I don't have a window that I can sit these in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a thing to keep them warm.
Right.
So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. And things like that.
Yellow sweets. Walla Wallas.
Walla Walla onions, yummy.
I know. They're the best.
I love Vidalia onions.
Yeah, I think, and they grow pretty good here too. Vidalias. Yeah. But I have that, and I have Georgia sweets. We like sweets here. The only thing is the sweets really don't store very long. Yeah.
So what onions do store the longest?
The whites and the reds.
Oh wow.
But the whites are the best storing onions. And because
even the reds that I've gotten from the store don't seem to last very long.
Right. I think it depends on what you I mean, like when you go to look for onions, I mean, you look at, what stores well on the back too. I mean, because it's like certain breeds. Of course, in the store, they don't want you to have onions that store very well.
No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They want us to come back and pay that exorbitant price.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I need to start, instead of going to the store, I'm able to get things from the farmer's market.
Yes.
And those onions tend to go longer.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, because they're being grown. Yes, they probably do refrigerate them.
Mm-hmm.
They have big walk-in coolers and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, hey, I need to be able to have red onions because I want to have them on a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use them for cooking because I found out that red onions are supposed to be kept raw. Different things like that I did not know.
I like pickled red onions.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also like them in like salsa mixes or like a corn salsa or stuff like that. The cool thing about, like, if you get onions at a farmer's market, is that you could take one of those onions and put it in your ground and get seed from it. And so yeah, you put that in the ground and then you let it grow, because that's a first year onion that you've had, and then the second year they develop those seeds. So you can put that onion in the ground and grow some seed from that. So I mean, it's a good way to get seed that is locally grown in your area, and I don't know why it's doing that. Yep. So what's up with Bob? What are you up to?
I was just going to say once again, I'm glad to hear you guys have got cameras all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And not working.
Lessons learned from Portland, huh?
Yeah.
Same here.
Just because it feels really safe here and all of that stuff. One of the things that we have to really watch for is unwanted hunters.
Yeah.
People that, because this, and I'm sure that even if it wasn't, this was old Waco land. So this was land that they harvested most of the hardwoods off and put non-native pine trees on here, which we're slowly going to harvest away and just let hardwoods grow. Mm-hmm. So it's old Waco land, so old land that the railroads would own, and then they would get the hardwood to make the railroad ties.
I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so people know that in the area that this used to be Waco land. They think it's still Waco land, and then they come and try to hunt on it without being detected.
Does the state you live in, we can paint purple?
You can do that here too.
Oh, you can. Okay. Because there's some places, like I was watching this one guy that had land that I think it's Virginia.
Yeah.
A channel that I follow, that people can come onto your land if you don't post every single year and put a date on to bear hunt. Even if you have livestock in that area, they can come on there with their dogs. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Or Vermont. I think it may have been Vermont. But it was absolutely crazy that these people had the right to come onto your property. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And all the hunters that were letting their dogs loose, he raises geese and ducks and
I know who you're talking about. I saw that.
You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is my property. Huh. And if they get hurt, can sue you.
Yeah.
I was like,
and there's all kinds of ways to get hurt on a wild property. I mean, most of our terrain is pretty wild. I mean, it's not like we have erosion issues to deal with and stuff like that, and we're slowly working to get that done. But we're trying to get farm credits and things like that to get the money to get that done, and it's just crazy. It's such a slow process. But so there's all these like little gullies and things like that where the water, because we're on top of a hill where our homestead is, and then it runs into our property surrounded by trees, and those trees aren't harvested because they're down. They're down and protecting our property from more runoff, from more, so we don't want to ever take away those trees. So later on we'll run pigs through them to keep them maintained better, but
would goats also work?
Goats would work, but pigs will root up a lot of the unnecessary stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. Yes. Well, I just found out how many piglets. I didn't win. She had 10.
Wow.
I said 7. So
we have brambles all around too.
Are the brambles like the blackberries?
Blackberries and other things like that. Mostly
Okay.
blackberries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that that's why we're starting with pigs too. So we need some pigs to root that stuff up before we get cattle on here. Because there's something that happens to cattle with the brambles, and they get those thorns in their hoofs, and then they get something called black hoof.
Oh,
and
yeah.
bad infections in their hoofs that can make them lame, and then you have to
Yep.
take
Yep.
So
there was a rancher. I'm not sure if he's really a rancher, but he's in California, that had this called a burdock in a cow's eye. That he had to put it up in the chute, and get that out before it caused irreparable damage to that cow's eye.
Yeah.
Kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
You got to be so careful.
Yeah, we got to keep it nice and clear for them. So, yep.
It was hay that he had bought from, so he didn't know it was in there.
Right.
So you got to be careful where you get your bales from.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful everywhere. I mean, it's I'm looking at Coonies, and I actually have a connection with Coonies right now, and I'm talking back and forth with this lady. That's why we're getting our fencing and everything ready for pigs. But I like that they don't root the land a lot. They just kind of scuff the land, and they'll eat a lot of grass. There's an advantage there. They're not going to ruin your land, but I almost want some of the other just good mixed breed, pigs, because they will root the land really good and get in there and get some of that brambles up and stuff like that.
What's that one breed of pig called? It IPP?
IPP, yeah. Their IPP is just
a mixed breed.
Yeah, it's not really. It's several breeds, but it's just a registered pig, I believe. But there's the IPP Idaho pastured pig.
That's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, and Coonies are
I think, aren't they slower growing?
They are slower growing, and that's our hang up, because we're like, do we go with an all spot mixed breed, or do we get Coonies that are really slow growing, or do we do both and grow the Coonies for long term, and then if we want meat this year, just get a couple. But we're looking at like $100 a pop as far as.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's plus, all their feed and all of that stuff. And then we're tossing up, do we want to process ourselves? My husband really wants to process themselves, or ourselves, I should say, because we've watched it done, and we process our meat birds. So, but it's
it's on a bigger scale.
Yeah, it's 7 pounds.
Yeah.
300 pounds.
I was going to say, you're going to need a winch and your tractor or something, Yeah, just to be able to bleed them out, you've got to get them about 8 feet off the ground,
Yeah.
I know the another channel that I follow was the Walker Farm Fam.
Yeah.
They showed that, they didn't show dispatching it, but showed that they had these poles up, and to be able to do what you have to do. It's interesting, because at least my mother taught me. We had a when we lived in Washington State, when I was a teenager, there was a egg production farm that was close to our home, that I went with her, and the older chickens that weren't laying as good, they would sell them to people, and you could pick out how many you wanted. That's how I got taught how to process. I can't do the deed of dispatching them, but I can process.
Right.
So when I had rabbits, I always had someone else do that, and then I'd process.
Right. I've done it all.
I can't. I can't do it. Yep. I guess if I was hungry enough, I probably could, but
right. But there's something different about, I don't know what it is about meat birds. My husband's like, well, why don't we just, right now we have out there a couple dual breeds. We have Jersey Giants, and then we have Buffingtons, and those are dual breeds. And we will go ahead and let them have babies, and they lay nice big eggs. So they don't lay an egg every day, but they're dual breeds. So those are emergency birds, right? And but I prefer the taste and the of what are those called?
Cornish cross.
Cornish cross, yes. And I just prefer them because the meat is better, and Wickshire, and I just enjoy them. The taste is better, and they're kind of like little beasts in the way that they move around, because they do get so nice and fat and all that stuff, and they're dirty, and so they're kind of like, once they get to a certain point, you're like, yes, let me take you out of your misery. So it's like, I really don't have a problem with it, because I feel sorry for them after a while. And it's like, let me take you out of your misery. I
don't think a lot of people know this, that the president of the United States pardons one of those white turkeys, and they don't realize that none of them are alive.
Right.
They're not alive, and it's like people are like, oh, they're still alive. No, they're not.
No.
Yeah, we used to raise Rhode Island Reds. That was the one we had the best luck at. They're pretty tough, and they're good for both laying and meat. Sunday chicken. Oh, yummy. Miss it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, when I go to of course, with the farmer's market, it makes it really nice because I can get my meat from there. And because I am got the EBT card, I'm able to take that card there with
that's nice.
And what they do is I can say AK $65, and they match it with $35. Plus 25 of these chips that are for vegetables and fruit only. I expand my money.
Oh, cool.
So I'm able to buy more, from the pantry, from that farmer's market. And it's nice. It really is. So it stretches what I get from the state a lot more. So.
Okay, Wickshire. No,
what is saying?
Wickshire was saying back in the comment, you need a giant boiling pot. You can also skin a pig, so you don't need that giant boiling pot and dealing with that. And that's what we'll do if we process ourselves. We won't do the boiling pot and try to scrape off the hair. Not happening.
Yeah. No. I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, wow. You know what t-shirt I have on?
What's that?
It's Full Blown Country.
Oh, nice.
They sent it to me, which is so nice.
So she's a chicken lover, huh, Wickshire? I love chickens too, but I have that understanding that they're meat. I guess I don't know why I have that. I do name my chickens that are layers. I don't name my chickens that aren't layers. All my roosters have a name, we have Barney, we have Bam Bam, we have Fred, cartoon names, And then I have one chicken that's really, really sweet. I name her Lily. I had a chicken. She's I had a chicken with a sore leg, and she was my chicken. She would always come to me, and this chicken is just like that, looks just like that, but doesn't have the sore leg. And this chicken comes to me and wants to, say hi all the time. So her name is Lily. So I love my chickens. It's just that's why I prefer to like meat birds. I'll never name. Or if when we have cattle, we'll never name the cattle. Hi, J3GS Farm. Good to see you. Very nice to see you. So, when we process them, if we process, them ourselves, that's what, we'll name them like meat names or, things like that. But I think one of the hardest animals, I think if I get, coonies or something that really have a docile manner about them, I will have a hard time processing them. But what I'll do is I'll say to my brother-in-law, who is the hunter, you can dispatch this one, and so it will still get done, but maybe not by me. So somebody who has a little more accurate shot, and so it happens quickly and harmlessly, and I mean, because it's interesting too if you watch like some of these channels that harvest pigs that are very intelligent animals, and they're more intelligent than dogs and stuff like that. You'll dispatch that pig right next to the other pig. They'll feed the pig, dispatch the pig, and next thing you know, that pig's like, oh, he's done his food. Let me eat his food. They have no connection, and that's when you see that and you're like, oh, okay, I see that you have an issue here. You don't have that connection. You don't really know what's going on. Let's see if I have any bars yet. No bars.
I looked, and all I have is, let's see here. All it has is just the lines. That's it.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I'm really glad because my brother says, oh, why don't you just let the 4G go? And I'm like, I'm about to show him why I'm paying for 2 bills, why I'm paying for 2 phones.
Yeah.
Getting one of those, going to Walmart and just getting a Go phone.
Mm-hmm.
And put the less one on, where you're at probably, unless it's a 5, I don't know if would be a 5G or if it would be a 4G.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan I have is a $65 plan, but that's unlimited, for talk, text, and data.
Yeah.
You don't have to go with that plan, but it makes it nice. I'm glad that I still have that phone,
Yeah.
Because my 5G is not working.
Yeah. That's interesting that your 5G is not working.
Yeah. I haven't tried my phone calling out yet, but it's got everything working, but I'm in another state too. So at least my security cameras are still up and running. Yeah, everything's working good. Same with everything, all my other security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do know that if someone were to come on our property, if you've ever watched my video where I live when I got my new car, I do live off of a main road that's not good to walk on, but sometimes you have to. Pretty interesting, but
okay, so I guess now I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
it's okay. I just my brain.
CNN is reporting the AT&T network outage. Yeah, T-Mobile's working, Verizon's working, but AT&T, and so they're starting to put up maps of where this outage is. So interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it's not some kind of hackers or something nefarious.
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hi there, Knight Rider. Nice to meet you. Good to see you in here.
This day and age with so many knuckleheads running around, you never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like how come this is happening, you know?
Yeah. That's why it's good to have Laura around, talk about knuckleheads, because you lived in Portland, and we were up against the same knuckleheads in Seattle as you are in Portland area. It's like, and they're I'll go into that dark topic for just a moment, but I was listening to a live the other day from a fella from Texas, and if they start anything like that around here, I got about 8 bullets, and we'll just go out there and take care of them. It's like, you don't know how well organized and how fast these radicals move. They move.
You don't.
Fast. They move fast. I saw it right here a few years ago. First thing they did was they knocked out power. They kept the police tied down in Seattle and Tacoma, and then they cut power, out in the suburbs area, and then they went out. They moved with military efficiency, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Went out into the suburbs.
And that's what made me nervous, because I was like, here I am. I mean, this literally says it started at 4 a.m. I called my husband at 4:30 this morning. 32 AT&T outages reported by customers at about 4 a.m. Eastern time. So, yeah.
Wow.
And then 50,000 by 7 a.m.
Oh.
And this is not just in our area. Houston, Chicago, Dallas.
Does it say Missouri?
Los Angeles, it doesn't say. Atlanta reports. And then later on by 10 a.m., 72,000 AT&T customers.
The port cities. Atlanta, ports of entry, Los Angeles.
We're a port city. Yeah.
Does it say anything about Seattle, Tacoma?
No.
Nothing yet? Okay.
Nothing yet. Go away.
Well, I saw the sheriff's, I know it's a dark topic too, but this one sheriff, was he from the state of Ohio, who came back and reported that the president would not meet with the sheriffs. The president would not, like every president is kind of required to meet annually or semi-annually with the sheriffs, with Border Patrol, on and on, Well, he won't meet with any of them. And the sheriffs were given a briefing by the Fed that there's more red flags going off right now than there were before 9/11.
Yeah.
And the president refused to meet with them. And I went, okay, this is a setup. Yeah.
Well, there's more of those kind of people crossing our border.
Yeah.
And nobody is talking about that, Yeah.
I'm nervous because, of course, I don't have any of them pew-pews.
Yeah.
I do have 2 dogs.
Right.
That are very large.
Right.
And anytime anybody comes on our property, they're barking.
Yeah.
I
have 4 of them.
I have 2. So,
And I have other things, so I'm good.
I'll just I don't know you, Rebecca, but if anything's going to happen in your area, the first thing they do is they cut power.
Okay.
When the radicals were running around here burning, the first thing they do is in the suburbs and out there, they'll cut power. And we lost power for 3 days, and then that's when they moved into the suburban areas and started lighting fires. Fire. Use it,
which takes down security systems, which takes down all kinds of things like that.
Yep.
Your bell ring bell thing that you have on your door does not work when your power
doesn't work without power. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, because I am on disability, I don't have a way of getting power to my refrigerator, to my freezer, to any of that stuff.
Yeah, I got a generator over there.
I don't have a generator. So it makes me think, okay, do I need to, all the meat that I have, do I need to start pressure canning?
Wouldn't
So it's
hurt if you can
already,
do it.
that
Yeah.
it's already cooked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll still have meat to eat,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Pressure canning.
That was
my husband always kind of poo-poos that, but it's a good way to reserve that. And I really like chicken that way, and so it really preserving my own chicken that is lightly salted, because especially if you have a health issue where you can't just go into that canned meat. I mean, that kind of thing. So
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Oh, yeah, it is. Think on it and act on it. Do it.
Right.
Yeah, do it.
Because we've, like Laura and I in Seattle and Portland, we've lived through this, guys. Yeah. And if the Donald gets into office, they're going to tear this place apart. And they're fast and they're good at it and they're well organized and they know what they're doing. And Bubba out there with his 6, dude. Yeah, I remember I talked to a couple guys in Kentucky, and one says, they better not do that out here. And I said, you don't know what you're up against. You don't know. We've seen it. And
and there's plenty of people on the other side out here too that are trying to protect. Like I've talked about in the past in Oregon and Portland, you got the bad guys on one side, and you got the good guys.
Yep.
And it doesn't take a lot to stir a fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we've seen the good guys shot down for no reason, and chased, from Portland to Seattle area. And, it's like, so.
Yeah, they use fire in this area as a very effective weapon. And they know what they're doing. They mix chemicals inside of a glass container and they just throw them out all over the place. And they were lighting along the state highways and every green belt. And I saw an entire hillside burn down.
Right.
With my daughter in the car. We were looking at it and filming it. They lit it on fire and they burned an entire hillside down. And
they were doing that in Clackamas, Oregon, too. And it started some huge fires.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys are they're caught doing it.
Yeah.
And they're let out within hours afterwards.
Yeah. There was a guy got caught doing it along one of the state highways. And he was obviously one of them. And they couldn't prove that he lit the fire, so they had to let him go. But then he got released from a small town jail and robbed a store right down the street, and then they could arrest him.
Right.
But just I said to those guys that I was talking to from Kentucky, I said, they have chainsaws too, because that's how they cut power. Is they cut down the wooden power poles.
Right.
And because my neighbor saw a bunch of them up on the hillside that was lit on fire at the same time. They cut power, then they started lighting fires. And I said that to those guys in Kentucky. I said, you guys don't, all they got to do is cut down one power pole in your little country road and you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't get in, you can't get out, you're stuck.
Right.
And then I saw the glaze of like reality go over their eyes. And I said, yeah, you need to think about it, man. Put some food and water away in your house in case you can't get out. Because these guys know what they're doing, man. And they're well funded,
Yeah. Very well funded.
And I think that even with that, I've got 55 gallon water drums that had wine in them. I tried to rinse them out as good as I could, but would I be okay if I boiled that, even if there is wine residue in there, to drink it?
I think so.
I think you would be. Yeah.
I would be okay, because he didn't want to sell me the barrels if he knew I was going to be drinking it. That's what. So, and I only have 2 of them right now.
I guess you could Google it and really research it, but I think if you boil something,
boiling something will kill most everything. And if that doesn't work, there's a formula of a couple of drops of just plain bleach, not scented bleach, into a gallon of water, just like a drop and a half into a gallon of water, will kill everything else. Shake it up real well. Let the container sit for a little while until air out, and you're good. Boil it, and just a drop of bleach, and all you got to do to get the bleach is you just take like a paper towel or a rag, dip it in the bleach, and then squeeze it and drop, and done. Close it up, shake it, let it sit for a few minutes, and then take the lid off and let the bleach air out. It might taste a little chlorine like, but you're good to go. You know, I mean, you look at my channel. That's the kind of stuff I'm into, because I really learned hard lessons in 2020 when the summer of love went on. I learned hard lessons. I didn't know what I was up against. You know.
So my mother-in-law was just telling me, shh, leave the old man alone. My mother-in-law was just telling me, we have 2 young labs and we have a very old lab, and that they like to tease the old lab.
The 4-year-old lab English Mastiff Blue that I have, he likes to just antagonize Denver, and Denver puts him in his place. It's like, you need to knock this off, you know?
So,
leave me alone.
Right. My mother-in-law was just telling me that she goes, yeah, this is big time. And San Francisco is already complaining that they can't call 911, that nobody can call 911.
That's exactly. Oh my God. Yep.
Yeah. So this is this is a little scarier, but they're still working on it. This is a big thing. So
because they even say that on an old phone.
That's what Yahoo News is saying, by the way.
You know, it's basically they say that even when you don't have a contract with one of these phones, that you can still call 911, even if the phone is been turned off. And now that's not the case.
Right.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, just breathe.
Yeah.
You know.
That's scary, you know, because I do have a brother that is autistic, you know, if something, or his epilepsy, you know, that he has, that's a little bit scary, that I may not, well, with my 4G phone, I will be able to make a call,
right?
You know, but with 5G, I'm not.
I'm going to send you a couple of emails, Laura. Of stuff I've learned on the internet here on YouTube primarily, of course.
Okay.
I'll send you one about how this is the making it's starting down in South America, and they're sending tens of millions of people up, and it's planned. And I'll send you an email here.
Laura, do you still have my phone number?
Probably not.
Probably not. Because I know that I sent you, when I sent the hats, I sent a 3x5 card. I just didn't know if you still had that.
Right.
And then I got to find those videos. I'll send them to you, Laura, about
okay.
Oh boy. About that sheriff, he just made a public announcement. I'll send you the immigration through the Darien Gap, and then that sheriff's thing. I'll get them to you, I promise.
I watched a sheriff's thing where he was talking about him driving people around and all that stuff, and showing and talking about, you know, what the problems are. So
yeah, this was the guy who went to DC where Biden would not meet with the sheriffs, and he was one of the. He says that North Korea, China have dozens, hundreds of people working on hacking our 911 systems to disrupt law enforcement, and each law enforcement department might have one person to try and stop it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That might be what's going on right now.
Right. Yeah. This is, you know, all the different ones that are happening right now. You know.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't know if I can share this.
Verizon also, huh? Yeah, that's hacking there, dear. That's hacking.
I don't know if it's
button up. You never know. I mean, I think what they're doing is chances are the news won't tell you the truth, but chances are somebody got into the system and they're just giving us a little heads up.
Sharing all kinds of moments.
Oh, sorry about that.
From teeing off to spilling the tea.
Skip that. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for sharing this. That's not what I wanted to share. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I put my phone number in private chat.
Okay, cool.
Just thought I wanted to make sure, because I just went to the chat to see, you know, on my other phone to see if I'd put in there, and it's not there. It's in private chat.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But it's quite when I'll send you the video, Laura, about immigration. Okay. The poor people get dropped off in like Venezuela, and they have to make their way on foot through the Darien Gap, and the Darien Gap is in South Panama. It's impassable. You have to physically walk through it. But guess what country? There's all the Chinese are dropped off north of it, so they don't have to trudge through it and take a chance on dying. And there's a refugee camp just in the south part of Panama, and the Chinese are separate from everyone else, and they're all young, fighting age men. I'll find that video and I'll send it to you. Then I'll also send you that video about the sheriff's report, how the president would not meet with them. But yeah, I don't know. People think that I'm overly paranoid. I've been accused of that a million times on YouTube, but Laura and I have been through this shit already, and the rest of the country is like, you know, well, me and Bubba will get in the back of our truck. Well, you know, you don't know what you're up against. These guys are funded by the Democrat National Party to create chaos. You know, it's all well planned out and it's working.
Right.
Morning, Barry.
I am so happy that I kept this phone.
Yeah, I've got to throw it away.
See, they're showing the areas down there, but they're not showing San Francisco and stuff like that, and that's where they were reporting. People are frantic because they can't get on
911. Huh?
911. Hey, Storm, good to see you.
Morning, Barry.
Yeah. And this is why Barry, Barry having the radio system that he does,
Mm-hmm.
that would be very handy right now.
Certainly would.
Yeah.
My dad used to have, I wish we still had his CB radio. I wish I did.
Right.
AT&T service outage. Yeah, that's already gone across the country, huh?
Yeah.
Looks like it's gone all the way across. Yeah, that's hacking there. If they're going to shut off city after city after city.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and why here?
So is something going to happen with my 4G phone? Because it's not. I'm not sure because it's still
Can you
working.
make a phone call?
I'm going to see if I can. Click on that. Get that off. I'm gonna call. You're gonna hear
Barry.
You're gonna hear the phone ring here in my bedroom. It's my Spectrum phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make a call to it. You'll hear it ringing. It's ringing.
Okay.
But that is connected. That is connected to our internet. Now turn it off. There we go. Okay. At least, and if power goes off, we don't have a phone. We don't have internet. This thing is on Spectrum. The iPad is, and I have it hooked in. I have it hooked into Wi-Fi. I don't have it hooked into the other. So if I drop off, you'll understand. You'll understand why.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff, because I've got it hooked to Wi-Fi. I don't have it hooked to the grid. The other thing.
Right. Hey guys, share us out. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's get some more people on here and let's talk about this some more, because this is we need to be watching out. I think that we need to really be watching out right now, because even if this isn't malicious in any way, it can turn that way. If they don't get things together, I mean, this could be an opportunity.
My brother just came into my bedroom. He was like, why did I call well, because Ronald, let me tell you something. The 5G is not working. And I got up on Laura's live thing today. My 4G phone, I just wanted to make sure that I was able to call out. The 4G is working, but the 5G is not. And there is a outage in a lot of
70-some thousand people are out.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah. We cannot make any calls.
People cannot call 911 or anything. It's
anything on that 5G phone. So I wanted to make sure that I could make a call on that phone. My Go phone. So maybe this is teaching us something, that we should have more Go phones.
Right. Well, sometimes I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes we test the system, right? We test how people will react to something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got your emails, Bob.
Yeah, I just sent you one. I'm trying to find that Durian Gap video that shows how this is all a setup. I mean, the long term, with all the millions of folks coming across, this is what's actually happening. Is you see how suffering New York State is with all the immigration, and they're fighting, and it's planned that way. These are Democrat states that they're filling up with these migrants. Either way, the Democrats are going to win, because you've got a higher head count of population in your state. That means you've got more state representatives in Washington, D.C. That's what they're doing it for, is to maintain a level of power. So they don't care about us if we get robbed, killed. They don't care. They want to stay in power. Just watch Colorado, New York State, all along the West Coast. They're all Democrats, and they're filling up our states with these illegals. And that's why they're looking to make sure that these people can vote. so that they keep winning and maintain power. Monstrous people, monsters, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. I just wanted to have that headline up there. Not them reporting that Cops is back on Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling my brother would come in here and say, "Hey, why are you calling the phone?" Well, it's because I need to make sure that this phone is at least working, and it is.
Right. I think that's very interesting that you both of those are AT&T though, right?
Yeah, both of them are AT&T, but that is a 4G Go phone.
Yeah.
It is not attached to a bill that gets sent to my address where I'm paying for this one online with my bank. That one isn't connected to a bill that comes to my home or goes to my internet. Right. It is a Go phone.
Right.
You know, but it is still an AT&T, and you've seen that it is working.
Yeah.
You know, but they're trying to eliminate 4G.
Right.
They want to go to 5G, but I still have that 4G phone.
Right. Yeah. Well, good for you. I would hold on to it.
Oh, I'm going to.
I mean, they're trying to literally make sure that they're trying to take those 4G and other 3G and all those other phones totally offline, period, so that they cannot even function. You know, so why? Is it because of this right here?
Exactly. Where we don't get information. We don't get notifications of things that are going on.
Right.
You know, and I'm beginning to think that I really want to start feeding my dogs from home instead of canned, dry dog food.
Right.
But how much, where would I find that information? How much do I need to feed them?
There is stuff on the internet.
There is. Good.
On YouTube where you can find that information out too.
You know, because I
mean,
have
there's a lot of people that just like they make their food, make their meal, and then make a couple for the dogs too. So,
I know the vet says, "Oh, don't feed them garlic, don't feed them onions," and I do know that onions can, I have searched this, that onions do cause dogs to become anemic.
Yeah, well, onions. I mean, our big black lab back here. My husband was feeding him raw onions 2 years ago, and it was in the middle of the night, and we put him in the bathroom because he had a little bit of diarrhea. So we locked him in the bathroom. We woke up in the morning, the whole floor was covered. So, yeah, it was bad news. So don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't feed grapes. Don't feed grapes or raisins because it will shut down your dog's kidneys. There are certain things, but I'm thinking because of these dogs being bigger, I can put a little bit of sprinkle, having a little bit of garlic when I've cooked something, and I mean, they're 100-pound dogs.
Or before you take or put the garlic in, take the meat out.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Just for them. So.
Just for them so that they have food to eat. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Golden Shaw Farms. That's the one we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just this is I don't like this at all. I mean, this is you got every big news network reporting it now. We have NBC, CNN, NBC, USA Today, Indy Star, whatever that is, Washington Post, Yahoo Finance. This is an interesting one here. And this one's saying basically what my phone is doing exactly is that is just showing the SOS format. So
I find it interesting that mine is not.
Yeah.
Hi, Barry.
Hey.
Hi, Barry. Good to see you. So, mine is not one all the time anymore. So it's very interesting that it's, but it's still doing that where it let me see if I can.
Hey, Bob.
Still
Hey, morning,
no
Barry.
bars, no nothing.
I'm going to send this off to you also, Barry.
Let me adjust my light here.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure this is a flu or something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barry.
It's all right.
It sure is going around with people, isn't it?
Well, I rode with my buddy, and him and his wife have been fighting back and forth with this bug, and I guess I should have known better. But the closest 3 counties, including mine, are all on what they call a central hub, and they all handle all the dispatch for EMS and sheriff's department and whatnot. So they're like 2 counties away. Casey County, Lincoln, and Garrett are all covered by what they call central. And we've the same thing that sheriff said down in Texas is happening here as well. And we're hearing when they drop tones, for specific fire departments, the tones even don't, they sound horrible. And they're sending, what they're doing is their dispatch is sending that audio over the internet to a transmitter site in those counties. So let's say Casey County needs, EMS.
Yeah.
Well, Central from Garrett County will send it through the internet to a tower that covers the whole county or a good part of the county. And in that message, when they hear EMS say, okay, this is 35, we're responding, it comes back through the internet. I don't know if you've ever had somebody get on the phone talking to you and they're right on the fringe of the very last tower in town.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what we were hearing. And there was other times they could even hear each other at all. Well, we could hear them over the radio, but dispatch over here in Garrett County couldn't even hear them.
Wow.
And I said, this is why we stay analog and we don't outsource our communications.
Right.
You will never catch me putting a lifeline for thousands of people over the internet. It's the dumbest move ever.
Right.
And, and then
yeah.
Law enforcement is all digital, but they don't have any backup. So the power goes out. Too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Better hope you're armed. But this right here, this AT&T deal sounds like a test. Sounds like
it does to me too.
Very isolated. Let's see what we can do with their phones.
Right.
I'll tell you, I'm really happy that I have this, the 4G, because it's not affected yet. I better put that in yet.
But the thing is, Rebecca, right now this is isolated. So I didn't see the article myself, Laura, but what states are affected? Does it say, or
all kinds of states? California. I'll get back to that in just a second.
Okay, that's fine.
Share myself out. For some reason, I'm having a real hard time sharing myself out right now, guys. Yeah.
I was having trouble with comments. I was having problems with comments yesterday. I couldn't answer them.
I could not answer comments today at all.
That looks like my mouse just died.
So very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Cutting off forms of communication.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Test run for post-election.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thoughts anyway.
So I finally got on my thing. Maybe I can share it out.
Yeah, I'm sharing you on my community page.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that on my phone. It's just like, wow. They're trying to isolate us.
Well,
Yeah.
We tried with the cough too, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That didn't work for me.
No, it didn't work for me either.
Nope.
I had to. So that's the only way I could be able to get overseas and see my family.
Right.
I had to take it. I had no choice, which is bullshit, but I had to.
Are they making you take the more recent ones though too to go overseas?
Haven't heard anything recently. I think the last time was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're not supposed to share personal information on here, but after my brother got those 2 shots, he had to literally go on another medication because it affected his seizures.
Can we not use the word?
I'm not going to use the word.
No, I mean,
yeah,
just
yeah.
the
his hands started shaking, so he had to get on one more medication.
Wow.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it here. You know, I'm just.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I kept trying to tell him, don't do it. Don't do it. But he did.
Mm-hmm. I know that this shows a map. Let's see.
Let's take a look at a map, see what's happening. Gee, I wonder why Bob's working on camouflage netting so he can escape and evade. Why is he doing that? Maybe he's just overly paranoid. I mean, maybe this has something to do with it, the phone outage, or not. I don't know, but Laura and I have been through this stuff before. Both of us have seen what these folks are capable of doing. You know,
this is the first time I've ever had this problem. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Laura, I shared you on the messenger.
The United States.
Huh?
I shared you on messenger groups.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything that is actually saying states, but Yahoo News was reporting San Francisco can't make 911 calls. Here's a quick map right here. You know, it's showing down to, you know, where we, and it's not even showing our area on here. So we're right about here. But, you know, and they're not showing California over here, which, you know, they're reporting over there too. So maybe this is old news, but the last I heard, it was 72,000 people were affected. You know, hopefully that will update soon. Well, so
I don't have to test mine because I was woke up by that spam call. So the odd thing was that its name was a bunch of number ones just going across the screen.
Very interesting.
Weird.
And who still gets? I know it's just a little off topic, but just like, is anyone getting that donate to the police fund still?
Yes.
Okay. It's the same voice every time, and I'm like, look.
When I see these calls coming into each one of my my cell phones,
I don't answer it.
I do not answer. If there is someone that is calling me with a number that is not in contacts with my, I don't have a contact with it, I do not answer it. You better leave a message.
Yeah. I did answer one of those donation things for the police, Barry, but I started speaking in Bisaya. And they went, we'll get back with you later.
I bet you I'm not, even though we're sharing us out, I bet you that they're not allowing it because
could be.
Yeah, but I bet you they're allowing bigger channels to, because they don't want to lose those people. So
I went ahead and turned this phone off.
Yeah, why waste your batteries?
Why waste the batteries? Yes.
Yeah, I'm still no service over here. So
it is just like, oh my goodness.
If you watch that video I sent to you guys about the sheriff from Ohio, he's talking exactly what's happening right now. Exactly what's happening. Now, I don't know. Well, after the George Floyd stuff and all that, I put nothing.
Say what it is, though.
After what I've seen, these people know what they're doing, and that sheriff was giving warnings that our departments don't talk to each other, and there's open holes in our communication system for dispatch, and you're talking exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, and I think I've seen that video, Bob, because what you're saying is very familiar. One of the things that they were saying, the powers that be just come in and do whatever they want. They don't communicate with us. And, they are not, they don't care what comes across. They do not care. And so, there's, protection for our country is just out the door, So, yeah.
You are your first responder.
Yeah.
Remember that, kids. Yeah.
I mean, this is why you have as much medical stuff you have in your household, because if you cannot make that 911 call, what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do? You can drive them yourself, but you better know your first aid, people, because if you don't know your first aid, you cannot prevent whatever you can prevent until you can get that person to that hospital. So make sure
the thing that's really bad right now is my car that I bought. I have to fix.
Yeah,
and I probably need to get off here and have my friend help me get that master cylinder on that vehicle. So
also fill up those water barrels you get right away.
I certainly will. I'm going to get them filled up. The bad thing is that I don't have a pump to get it out, but I do have a dolly, an appliance dolly that I can tilt that.
Hey, CR, good to see you.
It's getting myself prepared that I can have that pump to be able to pump that water out.
Yeah.
Get those barrels filled up. And
now, CR, I don't know if you've heard any of the news of what's going on in America. I don't know. Is it going on there too, where we're having issues with the cellular service and not being able to make any really important phone calls?
Yeah.
Or any calls, I should say, period. SOS is the only thing. If you know, you could probably, I know that my mother-in-law contacted my sister-in-law through Facebook this morning, but I cannot contact my husband because he's given up Facebook. So I have no way to communicate with my husband today, and I am not liking it whatsoever.
I had something like this in
Okay.
Canada too.
Before, so not today, but
Not currently.
not currently. Interesting.
You know what's interesting about that? It says SOS, right?
Yeah.
That is usually on a phone, besides, just not being able to find a tower. That's usually on a phone that has not paid their bill.
Yes.
I've been with several companies and finally just went back to AT&T years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. Only because their coverage is impeccable.
Yeah.
And well, I've not had no trouble with their customer service. They've always been good to me. But like when I had Virgin Mobile over in London, Kentucky, that's what it would say. It would say, SOS, and that was the only thing
Right.
you were
Or
allowed to do.
emergency calls only.
Yeah, exactly.
And
What's
it
the
does
point?
not say that. It just says SOS.
You're right. Well, what that is
It should say SOL.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, absolutely you're right. But there's supposed to be
Can you
in
share us
place.
out, Sierra, please?
In place, there is supposed to be a secondary way to dial into 911. That's what the SOS deal is, except if that's taken down too, or it's not implemented in your area, like you said, SOL.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice on that map that Laura showed a moment ago about there are the port cities on the coast and then the port cities on the Mississippi River. You see that? Transportation. It's just like the same places that Antifa and all them attacked a couple years ago. The port cities on the Great Lakes and the east and the west coast. Something to be said about that. Something to think about.
Trying to look for.
Do you know how you usually get the chime when you turn on your phone?
Yeah.
I just turned it back on. It did not do anything, and the volume was all the way up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, see, they're working on it. This is in Louisville. So that's,
Wow, it's
very all over the place.
It's so weird because of just the randomness of it.
Yeah.
I just got 4G on this phone. Oh my gosh, that's 4G LTE.
My hat's off to the people who are building their own cellular networks.
Yeah.
They're using old technology, old equipment, Raspberry Pis, and they're putting up, 3 and 4G. And they have no bill other than if their friends or family want to use that phone service, they pay a little bit maybe towards equipment. It's very power hungry. So if you pay,
still nothing.
It shows that I have the 4G LTE, but the bars, it just has one. I'm going to see if I can make that call to that phone.
You have a tower not too far from you, Laura.
I know.
That right there should tell you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've seen it in your videos.
Yeah.
I'm not stalking you.
I know.
Yep. I'm able to call with this number now because I do have the 4G LTE. Finally.
Can we switch to 4G?
It went ahead. What I did is I turned my phone off in that time and then brought it back on, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And I got the 4G on this now. It's showing that I have, because my house does have metal siding on it. I'm pointing it towards my window.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, Ronald. I now have 4G on this phone. Oh. I knew my brother would be back. He's like, "What are you making a call for?" But yeah, it's giving me 4G LTE on this Samsung.
You should be able to turn that on and off in settings, but
I may have turned that 4G on. Maybe in my settings or something.
You have to go into settings and turn it on and off. But
well, let me see if I can do that.
If there's no service in your area, it's just pretty much pointless. Yeah. So your phone won't tell you that it, because all the towers send out a signal. It's like a sub-audible signal that tells your phone, "Oh, I have 4G LTE," or
see, my phone right now is looking for signal.
Yeah. When did you notice it?
4:30 this morning.
Wow.
And it's still
down. And they said that people started reporting it. It's just, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just saying SOS.
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
And then see my camera going off. See that? The camera taking pictures.
That's creepy.
That is.
Okay, I can't turn my face down because I've got like 4 freaking cameras. I'm gonna put it under the covers.
Mine is not doing that on this.
It's an iPhone thing. iPhones do that.
Okay. I have an Android.
Yeah. So mine is undercover right now because I don't want it taking pictures of what's. I'm sure it can hear me anyways because of Siri.
Sure, they can.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing a test and taking photographs of people and seeing how they're reacting.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing if it stirs up enough chaos to do it again.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But
there's only a small handful of people I talk to on the phone.
It is listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very small handful. I could count on 3 fingers.
Right.
Yeah, same here, Barry.
I'm just.
Yeah, it is listening. That's for sure. CR.
Wife, daughter, son. Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
see what
comes down to it. I'll put a collar on one of the cats and a note. Send them on the way. Now, Kitty, it's only a less than a third of a mile. He's on the right.
Well, I know I can count on my woke neighbor. I made a video about that the other day. Cry baby. Yeah. That's the neighbor who his only plan during an emergency is to run to another neighbor who's armed for protection. I was like, you freaking pussy, dude.
You guys see this? AT&T Direct TV service outages.
Oh wow.
So it's not just, I guess somebody's having. So, anyways, yeah.
Sound like someone's having fun with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's not due to a storm or weather or anything like that. This is hacker.
Nope. And what kills me, where I live, we have one tower.
Mm-hmm.
I know
3 different vendors.
I know that I have one that way. I don't know where the others are that are triangling me.
Right.
But we do have one that's fairly close.
Now, if you go over Turkey Foot Gap over here, which is pretty close to, it's connected to this ridge that runs behind my house. That takes you towards Lebanon, Kentucky. There's no cell coverage. Once you drop over that hill, there is no cell coverage until you get to Lebanon. There's towers out there, but they're not open to the public for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of cellular antennas on that tower.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We have a tower that is connected to a tower that's like less than a mile away. So I should have coverage.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
So most of the time I'm making phone calls through, wait a minute. 90% of the time I'm making calls through the Wi-Fi. Hang on. I gotta try something. When I don't get a good lock on that tower because it's behind a ridge, my phone will automatically go to Wi-Fi. So
my Wi-Fi is off.
My phone I'm on Wi-Fi all the time just to make phone calls. But when I go outside, I get good signal. But I'm in a metal building too, home, and so I actually get better service outside. But I'm right next to a window.
Let's see, who could I? I'll aggravate the electric company. They stopped taking phone calls anyway.
SOS is what it says.
You're right
SOS,
about that.
SOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. CR. We've got different ways of communication because the wife and I travel a lot. So we've got,
We'll just do this.
3 or 4, to be able to talk to each other. Just that's because of international travel. If this is not receiving, we can go to another one.
Mm-hmm.
I also got a throwaway load phone I bought overseas. I don't know if that thing's working or not.
I cannot remember this happening ever. I don't know about you guys.
It hasn't.
It hasn't.
Yeah. They didn't let me call. Huh. Let's see.
Well, it's nice to know that my phone finally hooked to 4G.
Maybe, yeah, that's interesting.
Can you call out, Barry?
That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see.
Thank you for calling Intercounty Energy.
Well, that worked, yeah.
That worked.
And that was with the Wi-Fi turned off. So it is a very isolated situation with these towers being down.
Exactly.
So on my SOS emergency system, it tells me how to use it.
Oh, that's nice.
Call with buttons. So I can make call with buttons.
Oh, goodness. I did not sleep very well last night. Oh.
Okay, so if I put this button on here, let me get off this real quick. Make myself bigger.
I didn't have the SOS option.
Okay, so I'm putting this, and it says, it's not going to let me show it. Let me turn on my light in here.
Let's see what CR just said. When Canada had carrier issues, even banking was down.
Yeah, that's. I was reading that.
Mm-hmm.
So now with the SOS service, I should be able to call 911 if I press both buttons on each side. But how does that work?
There is a service on each cell tower, as long as it's been implemented by the carrier. that is not making a phone call. It's almost like using your phone as a two-way radio.
Oh, okay.
That's the best I could describe it. It's kind of like using a CB or FRS radio. You have the same kind of shelf I do. One over
Right
your left. Yeah.
Oh, my husband made that one actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks a whole
Barry.
lot like mine.
Barry's a
That's
stalker.
freaky.
Just joking, man. Just joking.
Okay, so there is
Never mind.
so that's
Stalker
good
with the
news.
flu.
There is some kind of way through iPhone that you can use it as a radio.
Yeah.
So you'd be using it. Okay, emergency SOS
goes through
via
the tower.
satellite.
Yeah, there you go.
Try demo. Next. Oh, okay. So it connects to the satellite for emergencies. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Let me see. Through messaging. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit next. And then you can reach these services. Next. And it's through a satellite service somehow.
Yep. They
Through
implemented
messaging.
that about a year ago.
Okay.
For,
So
for iPhones. You're lucky.
right.
You're lucky.
But
So that's what you can do. That's our only option right now.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Well, that's nice to know, Laura.
yeah. That's crazy though. Baba, what are you chewing on? He's like, what?
Well,
Yeah.
that 4LGE is gone now on this phone. It was there and now it's gone.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's
Hey.
okay because I have another phone.
Well, one thing, we've still got power out here in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the phones, but we still got power.
Hey Caitlin, are you affected by this AT&T thing at all? She can't even get the weather app
Uh-huh.
to update.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
another
she's in-
thing too. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I don't know if you just saw what I did. There's a satellite connection on iPhones where you can connect to emergency services through satellite and messenger. So
So is that through Messenger? Would be through Facebook.
it's emergency SOS connection. And I don't know how I got on there, but
And on that, for best results, you need to be outside.
yes.
It will work inside, but you'll get, you won't have dropouts
Yeah.
outside.
So
You have an awesome view of the sky.
yeah, I do. It's covered in clouds, so hopefully that won't. I mean, we got a storm coming in. Are you raining yet up there?
It looks like rain, but it has not started.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get hit this afternoon. So yeah, well, it looks like it's coming from the south, so maybe it's coming up to you later. So we just got some pretty dark skies here just a minute ago. So
About a year ago,
can you share us out, Caitlin, if you can? Go ahead. About a year ago.
all the stores up and down 127, starting from Houstonville going up to Danville, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me back up. That would be Junction City, not quite Danville, but they're in the. I guess they're in their corporation. Nobody could use their ATMs. in fact, they had to turn people away unless they had cash to pay. And even then, it was a bit of a headache because there were some items that people had to have, like from the Dollar General all the way to the Shell station. I mean, nobody had service. And I said, I thought you guys did transactions over satellite. He said, some of it is, he said, but most of it's over the internet. And I said, so are you on Windstream? Because that's my service.
Mm-hmm.
He said, oh yeah, we're on Windstream. I said, oh, there you go.
Great. Yeah.
And I can't say a lot because actually I've had really good service. And when I do have problems with my internet, which this is fiber.
Yeah, we have fiber here too, which has been really nice. I mean, we're so rural, to have fiber is really awesome.
Well, that's an initiative that the FCC has set out to conquer, that they want to make sure that even people in the most remote sections of America can still take advantage of broadband.
Yeah. But
this, they fixed this problem. I had, talked to the Dollar General and the Shell station both. I mean, I'm on like first name basis with these people.
Right.
They did fix the problem. It cost, quite a bit more money than what they were using before, but they weren't relying on the internet to take care of transactions.
Right. Oh, that's too bad that you don't have fiber. I really like our fiber because I would really feel disconnected right now if I didn't get online. That's why I came online. I'm like, I feel like really disconnected from anyone, my husband, and when you can't reach the love of your life, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Is like I can live without a phone, but we send love texts to each other, every day, and that's the only part that would affect me. Otherwise,
I mean, I sent him a text. I don't know. It doesn't say he got it though.
Yeah.
I can't reach my children right now. I can't reach my sister. I can't reach anybody unless I go on Facebook, I guess, and
you have no way of knowing if he's got phone service, do you?
No, I have no way of knowing.
Is he on to AT&T as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darn it. See, what I was going to do, Laura, was I thought one of us use our StreamYard. If you trusted me, I would call him, and then we could put it on speakerphone, and you would still be able to talk to him.
Right.
Just put the phone close to my speakers, and you guys would be able to converse. But of course, I wouldn't expect you to say anything that was private. But if that was an option, then
how do you do that though? Could I reach him StreamYard? Inviting him?
Well, we could invite him, or like I said, if his phone was working, I could call him on my phone, put him on speakerphone, and then use StreamYard for you to talk through my phone.
Oh, I don't think he's driving. He doesn't answer his phone if he doesn't recognize the call.
That's fine. That's
makes
no
sense.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm the same way. I'm really I'm almost a hermit here.
Yeah, he's not gonna answer a call that he doesn't recognize, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I can't tell him Barry's calling you right now.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. So yeah.
But if you wanted an emergency contact or something, feel free. I'll give you my number. I don't mind helping.
I think I'll contact my kids though and let them know.
I just blame that freaking CR right over there for all this stuff.
Too many trips to the fridge.
Yeah.
Right.
Every time he opens the fridge, another cell tower goes down.
Blame CR. Oh, Canadians, I swear.
Laura, thank you for letting me come up.
Me too.
I'm gonna
Canadians are awesome.
I'm going to stay in the chat, but I've got to get some things done. I need to get my car running.
Yeah.
So that if something happens, that I'm able to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Understand. But I'm going to leave you running on the iPad, and I won't be in the chat, but give you some watch hours.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody, and keep in contact with friends and family if you can.
Yes. Yes.
Stay safe, Rebecca. Sure.
I certainly will. Have a great day, everyone.
Already fired by Bob.
What's that?
Already fired by Bob. That's what our CR said.
Yeah. Just about. He's just about there.
The scary thing is, I got this SOS system on my phone, right? And I can contact that way to emergency services. But how well does that work? We've never done that. That's never been tested that I know of, right? I mean, and living in a really rural area, do they have the systems to back that stuff up?
I'm not sure, but I do know that it operates just like a satellite phone.
Okay.
Audio quality may not be, stellar, but you will be able to understand each other.
Because I worry. I've got my mother-in-law here, and she literally pops out her hip all the time.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
Now I could get her in the car, but I don't have a wheelchair I can put her in, and it would be.
There's part of your learn from this stuff. Start taking notes, honey.
Yeah.
Get a wheelchair.
I do have a walker that she can sit on that I could probably use.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to know that I have that back.
You know what I did during the radical times when they were looting and burning and all that stuff. I started taking notes, things to do, and I just one by one knocked them down, start taking care of that stuff. Yeah. I literally wrote it down because we were out of power for days.
This is definitely, I've got CPR. I've got years of that.
Yeah.
Years of medical knowledge. Years of a lot of this stuff. But I don't think my kit is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Diva in the Dirt, good to see you.
Maureen.
Hey, morning, Maureen.
Maureen, do you have service on your AT&T phone? If you have AT&T,
I was a first aid instructor when I was in the Air Force, so we're good. Plus, Mrs. She can cut arms and legs off. So I don't know if that would do me any good, but
Oh my God. Just threw that out there, didn't you?
I sure did. Yeah. Hey, hon, AT&T is down. It starts cutting my leg off.
Ginsu knife. Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have phone service though? Do you? Because we don't.
Just in case you don't know, Maureen, phone service all across the United States on AT&T is starting to go down. City after city after city, we're going down.
The last I heard, there's 72,000 people without service.
Don't have it in Canada.
Yeah, that's a big wow.
So if you can share us out, because we want to talk with and find out who's got it, who doesn't have it, all of that stuff. If you could share us out, that would be great.
What's that?
Bob's number one defense is a 200-mile-per-hour flip-flop from 3 blocks away.
Hey, the wife's still in bed, so I'm out of luck there, brother.
With deadly accuracy.
Yeah, that reminds me of that guy on what is that show? Austin Powers. That Asian guy that his weapon was a shoe.
With a shoe, yeah.
And he could, with accuracy, and he'd knock people out with his shoe.
Oh, I have laughed. There's a Vietnamese lady, or she's married to an American guy here, and that's, oh my God, they're all over the internet, where he does stuff just to piss her off, and she'll take those slippers and throw it up, kick it off of her feet, bounce it off the ceiling, grab it, and throw it right at him. It's like grandmaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deadly accuracy.
That's why I'm single.
Tico, that's not good. You bet you no Tico. No, his name is Tico. Hysterical. Oh my God. I laughed so hard at one of their videos where he pulled a prank on her. He was up on the second, she's downstairs sweeping outside, and he took some yogurt and flung it out, and it hit her on the arm.
Right.
And she runs into Chico, a bird poop on me. And he goes, really? It looks like yogurt. And he wiped it off and he put it in his mouth. And she goes, bah. She started gagging.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe my wife's out of service. It's almost 9 a.m. and she's not out of bed yet.
Oh boy.
Temporary.
Out of service, huh?
Temporary out of order.
Oh, so she's home getting ready to go to work. She works in the evenings mostly, huh?
Oh.
Depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they call her up if they have a shortage or they need her other clinics or hospitals and stuff. And she never turns down, extra work.
Right.
Yeah. Wickenshire, he aggravates her to the point of getting leveled. That's true. He does. He intentionally does that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, go ahead.
I'm going to put this in private chat, and you can show it if you haven't already. This is an outage map for AT&T.
We'll see. Port cities. There you go. Yep. The Mississippi River. Yeah. Houston, all that. Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Los Angeles, San Francisco hasn't made it up north to us yet. To Seattle. Tampa, Florida. Man, nice. This is a test. This is only a test.
Yeah. Of emergency.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I will share it. Thank you, Barry.
You're welcome.
The North Koreans or the Chinese sent a little worm out to see where it could find a hole, and boom, get in there and shut it off.
Yeah. So there you go. And they're not showing our area at all, but of course it's on there.
Mm-hmm.
So my son, who's in Los Angeles, probably doesn't have service either.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Morning.
Yes, we're live and we're talking about the outage. And it looks like you probably have service.
Yeah, it's getting there, CR. It's getting there.
Oh, goodness.
Here, I'm gonna get a coffee here.
Yeah, it's kind of tiring, huh? I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's a lot of areas in like some big targeted areas, It doesn't look like Portland, which then I would be able to reach relatives there, but I wouldn't be able to reach my son. They were talking about it in Illinois area. Looks like Dallas, and wish I could make this bigger. Can I? Let me see. Okay, so they're showing little areas above Kentucky here. that making it bigger for you guys? There we go. Okay. See if I can make it even bigger. Okay. Let's see. There we go. So there is some areas in Florida. Do you have cell phone service, Carol? North Carolina's got a huge area. So both of my cousins in Houston and Dallas, they're out probably. Missouri, Illinois, part of New York. Wow. This is crazy. That's a lot. Thanks for finding that, Barry.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's
Hi. Hi, Katie.
all the way down to the Bahamas. Carol's probably busy with M. So I wonder how long this is going to go on.
Depends on the extent of the damage. I'm sure they probably want to find a way to keep it from happening again before they put everybody back online.
Right. And what caused the damage?
Yeah.
Or this could also be used during election time to say, oh, well, we couldn't get the results. So ice cream is still in office. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much, but I don't put anything past these people, man. I don't put anything past these animals, you know.
Oh, speaking about animals,
Ooh,
somebody
good
just
old-
lit one. Ugh. My old dog with his cancer and just has some very interesting, he's on medicines that.
Well,
oh my goodness.
Wife is up. We're not on AT&T, and our phones are still going up here in the Pacific Northwest. So
that's good.
Hasn't reached us up here yet. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Right. Realized we weren't being able to see. I mean, it sounds like not a whole lot of the Northwest is hit by this. I guess they, aren't worried about, well, I think it's very interesting, right? In the middle of this section here is where the biggest ones are.
Yeah.
Yeah, our big dog, our old Labrador has cancer. Yeah.
What's the northernmost city in the center there? Let me take a look and see if I'm just out of curious. See if
it looks like Chicago. And then even areas in Canada, there's little dots in Canada, Boston, little dots in Boston, New York, Detroit. Yeah, they're not even kind of showing this area. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing with my mouse. This area right here at all. Yeah.
I'm just seeing it. Okay.
Yeah, we've known about it for a few weeks. It's nothing that we can do anything about. It's a fast moving. In fact, if he had surgery on the area, it would make it worse and make him incontinent. So we can't do anything about it. So just keeping them comfortable.
Yeah.
So
Astro's favorite.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he's a good dog too, but he's a bolt. So, yeah. I'll be right back. I need another cup of coffee to keep
Okay,
us alive.
no problem. Mhm. Well, it's all the way up into San Francisco, northern or central California. Port of San Francisco, Port of Los Angeles.
Oh, man, I wonder. I don't know if my friend's awake yet or not. I'm going to find out, though. I can't remember what service she said she had, but
It could be something with satellites. I don't know.
well, a lot of the cellular services rely on satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a certain country put one up here recently.
It's odd how it's only striking one carrier though, AT&T.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use AT&T, and our phones are still rocking. So. Well, nothing's happened up here in the port of Seattle or Portland. Just as far this north has been San Francisco so far.
He must have. He must have.
Yeah, Cricket is as well. Cricket outsources, well, AT&T outsources their services to Cricket. So Cricket is an offshoot of AT&T.
Right. I know.
Cricket might be down too.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, I'm trying to...
My mother-in-law was just telling me that you can do calls through Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, that's what I do.
The interesting thing though is I just unplugged some things. But here's the thing is she's like, I don't feel like I can even get dressed because right now her hip pops out so often that she's scared that we won't be able to call 911. Isn't that just horrible?
Yeah, it is.
You know,
well, I'm looking at the maps of the outages. It's the southern half of the United States is off, and then down the center of the United States is off. Wow, splitting it into four corners are
right.
off. You know, that's real
she goes,
nice.
Hi, Bev. Good to see you. She was just saying too that she's reading about all these hackers from overseas. I won't mention what countries, but If you're in the know a little bit, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's all explained in that video that I sent out to Barry and you from that sheriff's report.
Yeah.
They found a weakness. They found a way in, and they're using it. Probably is being done right now. I mean, why else would the entire southern half of the United States be shut off other than something like that? You know.
Right. And these are all states that would, during election time, would be important.
Yeah, they would be. Mm-hmm.
Now, I know in our state we have to go in and actually, but I don't know if we're going on computers or what. But
You don't have absentee ballots?
Mm.
Yeah, we have all paper here in Washington.
Yeah.
The ballots are paper, but they feed the information into online and count it. The counting is done with computers. So guess who we have for another 4 years? Oh, hooray. I'm going to stock up on ice cream and sunglasses.
Hello? Hey, you were able to call me. Yeah. It just came back up. Yeah. I'm online right now because we're going over the areas that are off and stuff like that. Yeah, we were like, I mean, we could only do an SOS call through for emergency services through satellites with our phones. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. CR is who I assume.
Well, I'm so happy to hear from you. I am. I love you too. Bye. Yay!
Yay! How many hours was it down, Laura? How many hours?
My phone says it's still not working, but he could call me wherever he was at.
Oh, wow.
But I'm still down. So it says for mine only AT&T Wi-Fi. So we're still down, but wherever he was, he could call.
Yeah, you should still be able to use your Wi-Fi to make phone calls.
Yeah.
Probably what I guess what you could have done is said, well, hold up, let me call you right back. Just make sure that I can call you.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good thinking, Barry.
Let me try calling him.
Yeah, good thinking.
Here's our lady.
Hey.
Hey.
In the rush. Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry I woke you up so early.
Oops, I got it on. No, that's fine. I thought it was a video because Barry sent it to us. And I thought it was a video. And then somebody came in. I think it was Diva came in and she's like, I'm over at Laura's live. I'm like, it's alive? What? So I ran over.
Right now it's ringing. Oh, I was just making sure I could call you because it still says I have no bars. So, okay.
That's awful.
All right. We're up. Yay.
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 Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like it's only a test.
How many hours were you down, Laura?
Since 4:30 this morning.
Until now. What time is it there?
It's 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're on Central Time, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
6 or 7 hours. It was AT&T was shut off.
Yeah. Just using some peppermint oil. I'm still not quite cleared out in the morning.
Is your phone still working down there in Florida?
Yeah, but I'm not on AT&T. My husband doesn't. like that company for a long time. For a long time now, he's not like.
Same with us. Yeah.
Shame on him.
No, thank God for him. Are you kidding right now? They're testing it out on AT&T.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, they were saying Verizon and a few others were hit too.
We're getting glitchy.
Yeah.
Oh, we should check Verizon.
Well, they had no phone service at all, Carol.
Verizon's working out here.
Is it? Okay.
That's what we're using is Verizon. Yeah.
All those dots on that map right there that Laura's showing.
Yeah, I get it. They had nothing. So but I wonder if that's mostly the AT&T customers or that other providers too.
It's mostly AT&T.
Wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
So did I send you that sheriff's report video, Carol?
You might have. I didn't see it though. My emails are acting weird.
He spelled it right out that Biden would not meet with the sheriffs. He just refused.
Oh, I saw that a while ago. I think I might have. Yeah, I saw that a while ago.
And he was saying there's wide open holes where they can shut down 911 calls and everything, and
it's disgusting.
And there's your test number 1. They shut it down for 5 or 6 hours.
Well, I believe that Laura's able to call. Back. That's good.
Yeah, I woke up this morning at 4:30, and the first thing that my husband and I do, or I do especially because he was gone already.
Check in,
check in with each other.
Good.
And I couldn't do that. And I'm like, what's going on? And then as soon as I'm like, okay, it's probably just my phone, something going on with my phone. I reset it twice. I'm like, okay, it's still not working.
Yeah.
I didn't look on the internet at all. I know I could get on the internet because a video that I posted went out and gave me notice that it went out and all this stuff. And I was like, okay. And then my mother-in-law got up. I'm like, can you make phone calls? And I said, what does your phone look like? And same thing. And I was just like, no bars. And it said SOS only. So you could only make calls because we have iPhones through satellite services. And so
wow.
And satellite services only for emergency contact.
Oh boy.
And so that was the only thing that we had. And so
protecting.
There's my
squirrel.
Right.
Shiny.
There's a helicopter going over, a military helicopter going over. So that was like, for all that time. And so we couldn't call. And then all of a sudden my husband calls me, we're back. I'm like, yay. Like, thanks for calling me because, I
my
squirrel.
I want to talk too.
Squirrel.
They don't like the helicopters.
Oh, I don't.
They fly really low. The military helicopters fly really low.
Oh, just imagine over here where I live, partially up this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
They fly over these ridges sometimes, and I think they're gonna rattle the windows off my house.
Oh, they
Chinooks.
They used to
Chinooks.
when we lived in Clarksville. We were right next to the base. Here they're a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were right next to the base, I mean, it was like you would get the double, I forget the
Chinooks. Mm-hmm.
The Chinooks flying over, 3 of them at a time over the house. And I felt like I could throw a stone at them, and it would, the whole house would go, you're like, wow, really? Do you have to go that low?
We had Huey UH-1Ds fly over, and they had the side doors open, and people were sitting, by the door.
Mm-hmm.
My girls stepped outside with me to see what was going on, and you could count the heads in the window, in the door. And my kids waved at them. They waved back, and of course, that made their day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've had C-137s fly over here that I could count the rivets on the plane.
Wow.
They were running west to east, and I think they were showing off because there were 3 of them. One went directly over my place, one went in front of it, and the other one was on the other side of the ridge behind me.
I like seeing that stuff because they're there to protect us.
Oh yeah.
I like seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do too. But
I had a
So,
P-51. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wonder what the problem was. With
Why
all
it went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not saying I'm on an article and it's not saying yet, but it's saying that AT&T and Verizon were the top two companies that took a hit. And Cricket they were experiencing, but Cricket probably hops on to them. Like
Cricket is AT&T outsources to Cricket.
Yeah, that makes sense. You guys have probably already, I don't know what you've hit on, but T-Mobile didn't get hit, it says on the article.
Yeah.
So
we were just discussing who and where and looking at the maps where it was hit. It was like 72,000.
Yeah. T-Mobile has a new thing called it's a color, like the new plan that they have, and I think I even saw things on YouTube like warning about how I guess automated it was, and like AI, I think kind of driven. And I'm just wondering if some of these outages are to push people to go into a certain company too.
Could be.
I wonder too if they can sabotage one another.
Yeah.
Well, they sure do that on advertising, don't they?
Yes, they do. And so I wonder how cutthroat it's gotten, because it seems like life in general has gotten pretty cutthroat.
Well, we were also talking about the election coming up.
It's the other country, Worcestershire, but try not to say those right in the side chat because AI picks up. We use like code words, you guys, in the side chat for certain places.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the NK country and the other one north of it will have thousands of people working day and night to shut our systems off.
Yeah. The red dragon, the red sickle, I guess that's what they used to be. Have you ever seen that Simpson episode where it's like their old name like the country's name with an R flips and it pops up back to the old name that it was in the Cold War? Like the name in front of the representative for the country flips. Like we never really stopped being that. Like that communist country.
Well, their leader wants it back like that.
Oh, I don't think it ever left. He was part of the three-letter agency they have. It was very high up. But the other country, the sheriff was talking about them getting hacked by all three, the red dragon, the other one, and then the one that's over near Yossi, where the new groups are attacking from.
There's a private message for you, Bob.
So
what do we got?
It's hard to play like charades, but I just don't want it.
I know,
but I'm sure AI is like
right on
charmed today and waiting for names.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just scary about, I mean, like I was saying earlier, if it continued, it could have been an in to cause havoc,
Yeah.
If it wasn't, but I have a feeling it was a test.
It was a test.
Seems like it. Well, that and what was it? That scared the crud out of me. But you know how when people want to sell things that are in the conservative realm, they like to scare the crap out of you. It seems like.
Yeah.
But it was listing like how many different of our food places have been destroyed from within. And that like and then who is buying the land to create said more
and then not creating
they won't know. They'll probably create in a lab for us maybe. They were saying like
they're buying it the land and then not creating anything on it that was created before.
They're letting it stay. So
Mhm.
that's
whole lot of
interesting.
a whole lot of safe houses, though. I mean,
Oh yeah, all them people who have the money to do that, right, Bob? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
those are the people who don't have to walk through the Darien Gap. They're put on ships and dropped off north of it, so they don't get harmed on their way
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
here.
Yes, exactly. I watched
Have
that
have
too,
a,
and that
have
was
a
terrifying.
yeah, have a separate compound just for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, you
all
and I were talking about
coincidence.
that. You and I were talking about that. That was
It's
frightening.
all coincidence. Come
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, that's
So
very scary.
speaking about growing food,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking next Monday, if you're available, I would love to interview you about your gardening.
Oh, or lack of for this year. Yeah.
Well, you know,
Okay. Yeah, no, we can talk.
just
I got to
what-
bring it back. I got to bring it back from the brink that it's on right now. I have
Yeah.
a fungus among us that is possibly taking out 2 of my trees, but one has always been kind of troubled since I got it. So I'm wondering if genetically something's wrong with my
Right.
lychee, like if it was a bad graft, like
Right.
bad rootstock on it or something.
Yeah.
Not just my care, because really you're supposed to, of course, use fungicide on both trees now because we've got some serious diseases. But yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. But you're
Okay.
not supposed to baby them, like supposedly.
Right.
I don't think that would fly with like the mango people. If I go visit their place with all their mango trees, I'm sure they baby their trees because they sell those mangoes. I'd
Yeah.
like to know. I need to go visit her and see if I can get on the property and ask
I want
those
to
questions.
interview Wickeshire and CR as well. I just want to interview people that grow
Mhm.
food, period, why they're growing it, how they're doing it, what's motivating them, all of that
Yeah.
good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we'll go up from there.
Yeah, geez, the only food I'm growing is rhubarb and onions. My onions that I planted are doing well. That's all. I like flowers.
Yeah, me too. I know. I miss Gear, but he's working. Marigolds always in the side chat. Marigolds.
Yeah.
Hunger is motivation, right? They'll control us very well with that, CR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
It
damn near
is.
got fired today, CR, already. Damn near got fired.
Yeah.
In case you guys don't know, when I go to Shadows and I fire CR almost every week. You're fired, dude. You know.
I wish I could come and visit. It's such a bad time for our family. That's usually when I'm running errands or it's just family time. It's hard to get on.
Right.
Like
It's hard to, yeah.
the weekend is
You
just
comply.
short. Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah, I'm
weekend's just-
thinking Mondays would be good. Right now, I'm sure I'm stepping on toes. But I just had to talk about this. I'm like, what the heck? I need
Yeah, it
connection
happened to
with
you.
people. I need connection with people because
Yay!
Mhm.
Yeah. Rebecca just came in and said I want to let you know my 5G is back. So she got hers
Okay.
back too.
Cool.
And that's what's that, Arkansas? The state that's in her Rebecca, is that Arkansas that you're in? Was there
Oh, great.
outages? Gosh, so I'm just trying to realize, like, because you're in Tennessee, like who else will come in and what state they're in that experience the outages compared to the map that they're showing.
Right.
Because the map.
What I
Go ahead,
saw,
Bob.
Carol, was the East Coast, the southern half of the United
Oh,
States,
Missouri.
East Coast,
Sorry.
West Coast, and right down the middle from Houston, Texas, up to the center, through the center.
It
It's
was-
like quartering,
Yeah.
quartering
And
the country.
quartering it out. Interesting.
Mhm. Yep.
Interesting.
Brace yourself,
Yeah,
guys.
Diva would be the one to interview. She grew so much food. Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. Her poundage out of that backyard, and her
Diva,
backyard.
I interview you. So I'm starting
Yeah.
on Mondays, and I'm thinking what time would be good.
Later in the day for me, of course, you know that.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish
But
I
what
was
is it?
more of a morning person.
Noon.
Yeah, that's fine. I can wake up for noon. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I'm here now and it's 12:21. That's
Right.
fine.
I'll just spam your messenger, wake you up.
It's just like if it's 9 o'clock, that means I'm getting up at 8 and don't function well at 8 o'clock in the I can, but it's all adrenaline and then I crash later.
Yeah.
I just totally crash. I'm not a morning person since Malachi came into our lives.
I'm not a morning person either, but I've been waiting.
I never was. I'm sorry.
I'm forcing myself to be one.
Yeah, after we have coffee at least. Here, CR, here.
Right, yeah.
I was telling Chris, I said, my hormones were just tested because I had no other way to find out where I was at.
Yes.
Hormonally.
Yeah.
No, I just want to say one thing is brace yourself, guys, because they've done this once.
Oh yeah.
They'll do it again.
They might start testing. They might start doing a test on all of us.
Brace your heart, brace your mind, in case this lasts for much longer, which probably will,
Yeah.
Come here.
This is test number 1. Let's see what happens to the north half of the continent tomorrow.
You're freaking out Barry's cats, Bob.
Yeah.
Out the back.
He wants to go outside, but it's raining. When the rain caught up with us, Laura.
So Laura, what happened?
I was just diagnosed with menopause. So
not that diagnosis.
Oh God.
I just saw some lady who was saying and I hear about those poor men. Oh, shut up.
I know. I was like, you know what this means, honey. My ill temper, my freaking out, all of that stuff that I do normally is now because of my menopause.
Yes, that's right. It's now exacerbated because of that.
Yeah.
I find that it definitely, I don't know which came first, if it was the
chicken or the egg.
Yeah, the chicken or the egg, but it's the adrenal response or the hormones, or if the hormone imbalance set off the adrenal imbalance. So that I'm curious for. Yeah, I've heard of the black. I forget why I can't take it though, Diva. There was something that
I would comment, but I'm freaking out Barry's cats. Sorry, Barry.
I have to before I take any kind of hormonal thing. I have to talk to a doctor because
I'm going to let him outside.
Yeah, Laura's been through breast cancer, so she has to be very careful with anything that might switch up her hormones. Yeah. And really, any of us women who don't have our gallbladder should do that because we're not absorbing the vitamins and minerals like we used to. Yay, which they don't tell you.
No.
They're like, it's useless. That's just, you don't really need that. It'll be fine.
If I had a choice to keep my gallbladder, I would have. But
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. But they didn't tell me that there was any choice. And I was in such extreme pain and puking my guts out by the time I got to the ER over and over again.
Yeah. For me, it was like, we're going to have to take your gallbladder because otherwise you're going to be on dialysis.
Ooh.
So
yeah, that's
no,
bad.
thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's not a good choice. Yeah, mine wasn't working anymore, but I didn't know the term sludge, what that meant. It was the first time a doctor ever told me and stuff. So I might have mine might be my liver, which scares the heck out of me. Because that's what was producing it. And then it was sitting in the Yeah, Linda, because our gallbladder will spray basically all the bile that it needs when a fatty substance comes in.
Right.
Our hormones are made out of fatty substances. Our vitamin D, vitamin A, there's a lot of minerals and vitamins that are fat based. So yeah, it can really mess you up. And now they're trying to say oh, no, it's not related to certain cancers. Female cancers, it might be.
One that I had.
Did you have your gallbladder out prior to?
Yes.
For how many years was it there, or months without a gallbladder? Do you remember?
A year and a half.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, especially if you've had cancer, but you know that they're finding out that old study was faulty. And that there's plenty of women who could have stayed on HRT and their bodies didn't have to fall apart as fast. Because both are just as dangerous. The natural hormones that are replacements, and the synthetics that are replacements. But so is being completely without your estrogen.
Yes.
Yeah, my
So it's a real, like one of
missus
these.
had to go under the knife a little over a year ago and get all that taken out. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom went through that, and she went into instant like crazy.
My sister did too. It was horrible. I was just like, oh my goodness.
My mom was like dealing with a demon came in the house, kind of.
Yeah.
It was, ooh. I remember her chasing me down my hallway because I didn't wring out the rag in the kitchen at the sink. And my mom wasn't like an abusive. She would be like mouthy, but she would never be like physically. She was really.
Every once in a while, I feel like I have a little rage in me. Like my mother-in-law said something, and I'm like, I could not sleep. I was like, ee. And you know what? What she said was not. It was stupid that I would react that way. And so,
yes, yeah.
But I didn't outwardly react that way, just inwardly. I have a problem with, which doesn't help you either.
Stuffing.
It's stuffing.
Yeah, stuffing it.
I inwardly react, and then it toxifies your body. So, yeah.
The only personality change with my wife was she became more clingy. You know, she likes to be held more now since she had that procedure done.
Yeah.
But that's it. There's not been any violence or anything like
I'm
that.
pretty clingy too.
Comforting, you know.
I'm sir, there's no problem with that.
I'm good with that. You want to snuggle up? Okay, come here, honey. You know.
Yeah, this is what I had found, Diva. The black cohosh, for people who have problems with their liver, it's not as recommended. It says it advises individual liver disorders should also avoid black cohosh. It adds that users who develop symptoms, what happened? Hold on, he's having a conniption right now as I'm talking. Develop symptoms of liver trouble such as abdominal pain, dark urine, or jaundice while taking the supplement should discontinue use and contact the doctor. Anyway, I think that was what I found, was that it affected the liver adversely. But everybody, to each his own, and it's, you know, just like Diva said, my self-proclaimed YouTube doctorate doesn't exist.
I had to, for the longest time, really watch what I took because my liver was so sick. It took me 2 years to get back to normal with my liver. And so I now take turmeric to keep my because one of the things that happens too with your without that regulating the fat, now you get these dumps of fat in your liver that can overwhelm your liver. And so I take the turmeric to help with that, and it's been it's been really good. I can tell that though that I get it's cleaning it out slowly. And I see response to my body. Let's just say that way when I take it.
Liver is delicious with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Had to throw that out there, guys.
Okay.
Bob, you're fired.
I'm fired. Yeah, thank you. I deserve it.
Get in your basement right now. Don't come out until you thought about what you did.
Got an excavator coming out next Tuesday. Yeah.
I think it's really odd nowadays that a woman has to ask for, I don't know if you did, but you have to ask for a test.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
And they have to write it up. They're like, well, why do we need to do this test?
Yeah.
It's not like back in the day, they would, okay, we need to see where you are hormonally. And now they don't do anything unless you beg and plead and ask for it.
Well, my OBGYN got mad kind of at me because I went to the one in the same practice who was supposedly natural, like naturopathic in the way that she practiced. She didn't offer me any more solutions. So I went back to the other one, and the only way they wanted to test you at the time was, okay, we'll come in on basically a Thursday after you've had your, you know what, within a certain amount of days of that, come in. That's what it was. So it was like, that's what I figured. I had to have it on a Thursday, get it in there on a Friday. It was like it would never add up to where I could get in when mine would come. So I was so mad. Like, can we do this some other way? Finally, after suffering for years with horrible migraines, I said, isn't there anything we can do for my migraines? And she's like, oh, I thought you wanted to be all natural. Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going back to her. She's also the one that, like, I had that mammogram when my father was dying, and they saw the tiniest speck. I have no other anything. No cysts. My breasts are clear. And for that one speck, they did a mammogram and cost like $900. Do you think they went, if they were really concerned, they would have scanned me with the other? They didn't. Yeah. They didn't. It was all in that practice. So that's what turns women off, and then they don't go and get checked.
You have like, to really, as a
hey, pass.
You have to be really a big advocate for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With any medical services. And I think the more we turn to a system that looks more like Canada or anything else, the more that's going to be a problem. You really have to fight for yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a fact. Because I've noticed that my wife gets very quick treatment or diagnosis and tests because she knows the language. She knows the language. You know, it's just like finances. If you don't know the language, you don't know what they're talking about. But if you can go in there and say just a few words, then you get what you need or what you want. But otherwise, the public is left out. Yeah. So self-education is very important.
Yeah, exactly. But the advocacy with those doctors now is they're expecting it too, because we're being fed all those ads, and they kind of want you to come in and ask for those things.
Right.
Yeah, I need to start. I was just going to type it, but that stuff too drops blood pressure, because I was looking into it because somebody had been recommending it. And Marissa is going to school right now, Diva's daughter, for herbalism, a master's in it. I think is that correct?
What drops blood pressure? I didn't see.
Black cohosh.
Oh.
And I already have low. Mine's, I imagine if I start walking, my blood pressure will level out better.
Right.
Because that too is your adrenal glands can get your blood pressure going whack. But yeah, my blood pressure.
You were in here earlier, and I forgot to say hi to you. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's her master's, but it's herbology. I never know how to say it right. I don't know if that's right. I don't know if I'm saying that part right. I wish I would have done something like that with my uncle having his doctorate in nutrition and we having teachers in the family. I wish I would have gotten something other than fine art. At this point.
You were going with your passion, though.
I was going to be an artist. Thank God my mom said, why don't we put the education degree on that, honey? Just in case you don't make it out there as an artist. Thank you, Mom. Herbalist, that's it.
Barry, that cat's pissed off at you because it's raining. Yeah.
Well, no, she's purring her little heart out right now.
Is she? Okay.
That's not the one that was screaming to go outside?
No, that was Mystery.
Okay.
He's so tough.
That's the one that's mad at you. Wants you to make it stop raining. Bob's right.
He went ahead and went out anyway.
Yep.
He doesn't.
Norman, what's your deal, honey?
Cats blame us for everything.
I think Norman needs out. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Someone put that in the side chat. You've got to know the terms to use when you go see your doctor, the language, which is a shame, but it's true,
Exactly.
My doctor keeps wanting me to go for more tests and all that, how they found the bladder cancer and lung cancer and all that. I really urge you to go. You could do it right here. No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I went through cancer treatment once and I still go through it. No, the cure is worse than death. It is worse than death.
Horrible. I remember you talking about going through it, and it hurt me.
I had to go through it shortly before we went overseas, and I really probably should not have gone overseas because I just wasn't up to it, because one thing that really affected me is in the morning after I get the treatment and all that, I got to stay next to a bathroom after that. And we had a close call when we took a car ride out to General Santos City, and then we all went out for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I wound up calling my wife from the bathroom. Help me. I went all over myself. So last time we went, I probably should not have gone, because I got it in November, then we flew out in December, and
your body wasn't ready yet. It needed
no. And so thanks to my brother-in-law, he went to a mall and got me some shorts and socks and stuff like that, because I was all over myself, man. It was just awful. So,
Linda, it's funny you say that because I'm sorry, Bob. We have to, as a teacher, do either CEUs, which I didn't have enough of because I was teaching part-time. So I was taking courses, just not the right ones to mean anything. They had to somehow intermingle with what my teaching degree was already in, or education. So yeah, nutrition and things like that were over here, and I needed to stay here when I would get my classwork, my college courses, in order to get my teaching degree renewed. But now I don't have it. After 20 years of holding on to it, it went away when Dad was passing away, and we got little man.
Yeah.
But to add insult to injury, the family was there when I went all over myself, and the family was there when I barely ran out of the car to get to a bathroom. And then here's my lovely sister-in-law. Oh no, I want you to go. I want you to go. Come on. I kept, so it created a lot of hard feelings because the narcissist would not listen to me. Yeah. Even her husband spoke up and said he can't go in the morning. He has to. We've got to. Now you can wear a diaper. I said, have you ever worn one of those diapers? Have you ever done that and gone in a diaper? You still need to get in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can still be. So this year when we're going, I'm kind of on my own personal rant. Wife scheduling my flight over there after the British leave, and then I can go to my home. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Because of a narcissist in the family.
Yeah. Linda, I would, but I can't even find time to garden right now with my son. I have a special needs son that we adopted, and that's where I got most of my classes was online. The only classes that I went in to take in person were ceramics, which I loved, of course, and I had a wheel at the time on my patio still.
Oh, that would be fun.
To counterbalance the time. I miss it. But when my brother died of fibrosis of the lungs, and I studied fibrosis and how easily our lungs can get irritated and form scar tissue, I sold it. I sold that, and I sold my small little doll kiln, which I never got to operate anyway. And I'm kind of glad because I think it needed a whole new jobby on the inside, like with the fire bricks were a little bit messed up. I was like, I don't know about firing this up. It looks a little bit like... Yeah. Been tumbled around. But it was a good deal. Bob, I got super sick wobble to the compost. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Just now, because there is a tummy bug going around. A really bad one. I know Trish said Dudley brought one home.
Linda Peterson, yeah, it does. Even if everything isn't contained in the Depends, you're still covered in it.
They aren't worth anything at all. Those Depends.
It upsets me that I'm inside of my home.
Yeah,
there's the evidence, and I still have to tell the narcissist, I can't. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't care about your plans and what you want. I can't. Well, I just don't want you to feel left out. I can't. It's like, welcome to my home. If it wasn't my wife's sister, it'd be like the back of the head, the seat of the pants, out you go. Right. But that's my wife's sister.
Yeah. Yeah, for the last 6 months, yeah. It's just hitting certain areas at different times. Like, and mine last night felt like it, but I realized on doing keto, I added dairy back in because it was saying like if you're not feeling satiated, add fats. And of course, I love cheese. I have a thing for cheese. Well, I added what do you call it? Whole milk organic Greek yogurt was on sale, plain, so no sugar, a little bit of carb. Oh, later, CR.
Later,
Bye,
CR.
CR. Keep it coming.
Yeah, and it. Of course, couldn't resist my favorite because I had actually stayed low carb all day, which was a little honey on that with cinnamon all over it. Not thinking at all. I'm drinking lemon water for keto for like low carb Gatorade.
Right.
So late last night, the two intermingled in my belly, and I was in lots of pain.
Have you guys heard of that? It's a lot of keto people do it. They call it the something coffee.
Yes, bulletproof coffee.
Bulletproof coffee.
Butter and MCT oil. I would be going probably right off the bat with that in my coffee.
Yeah,
the two together. I could maybe do one or the other, but not
right.
Because coffee's already a diuretic.
Yeah, well, I mean, I meant going the other way because no gallbladder.
Yeah.
That's what I was concerned about with keto and no gallbladder. The fats would go, but I was doing fine. But I think the dairy fat, I need to get off of just to see if the inflammation in my body will go down. Because I told Diva I was like almost 5 pounds down the next day after having the yogurt with just a little bit of honey. I was 5 pounds up. And we were talking, that's got to be the inflammation and the bloating from whatever imbalance is going on in the gut.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no fun. No fun.
Yeah, our guts are like ruined in the United States. You know?
They're totally
ruined. You look at, I mean, we're getting no nutrients from our food. We'll go out and we'll buy, even buying in the organic area, unless they either pull it too soon, the fruits and the vegetables, or there's something happening with the nutrients in our food that's so bad that has affected our guts. Period. It's sad.
Go ahead.
We do get a much wider variety of diet than, like, say, our grandparents did, but I don't know, man. They're picking the fruit and the vegetables months before it's ripe, and then they ripen it with a gas, and it's like, what?
The gas is to keep it fresh looking longer, but my opinion about our food right now is just the fact that if you were to look at labels on food that you bought 10 years ago and then compared it to labels on the food we buy now, there is so much crap in that food. And I believe what they're using to process and create this food is actually detrimental to nutrients that you would normally find in that food. So
I agree.
Canceling it out.
God only knows what those additives are doing to it over the long term.
It can't be.
We're still finding out what happens over the long term with us.
Right.
That's like finding out that the emulsifiers in your creamer in the morning, even if it's a healthy creamer like a coconut or almond, and you're staying away from dairy, is tearing up your gut and is imbalancing your microbiota.
Yeah. Almond right here.
That's a nice word there, Billy. Help those in the back with those big words, please.
Whoa, part of just shorten it down and say cancer.
Yeah.
Hydropolysorbate monoculture nuclear isolate.
But what does it mean? Where is it found?
Cancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's why I can't. The box or the package, whatever.
Like,
say, fake word.
I was wondering why. I was like, what? Where is that from? Like, I've never heard.
Like, I think that's what I'm having trouble with on my diet. It's like, I'm not getting the carbs I should be, and I'm thinking that it's because of my choice of foods.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm saying I've got to eat healthier and cleaner than what I have been, because I'm not getting that.
Yeah, I'd like to do
energy burst like I used to.
Maybe in March do like a Whole30, and that's more flexible than keto is, as far as you don't have to track. Whole30 is basically what Barry's saying: eat more whole food. You don't eat though beans, dairy. So for him, he might have to add, like, his proteins will be different, but it's basically whatever your grandparents would eat, you can eat, but minus the really bad, like the starches. Like, don't put in the dietary starches. It's pretty open to what you can eat. It's just, if God made it, pretty much you can eat it, except for beans. I think white potato, you're using more high density food, what do you call it?
So could you eat
nutrient dense food?
Yeah. So could you eat, like, instead of a white potato, like a sweet potato?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like no added sugars, though, things like that. It's, and I'm trying to think who did it, their channel. It's Meg and Ben, the Hollers. The Hollers they do it to check in with their bodies every once in a while. They just do a Whole30. Not that they have that much, in their diet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Cool, Linda. That's awesome. You should, Linda, join GT Junior Grows It Alaska. Has an indoor challenge for growing. You should maybe.
That's really cool.
Join it. You should join it and
show
that off.
I grew until February, and then everything, it just got too cold. I don't have the indoor option, but I could probably put.
I don't either right now. I've been wanting to do Cracky since last year or before that, and I just don't have a place safe where he won't come in and mess with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we
don't have the room.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You need more space for sure.
Exactly.
Well, guys, if we're all still talking to each other a few years from now, when I get overseas, and then I'll be able to grow all my own, because I have enough room, and sun.
You got that beautiful soil with all those nutrients in it.
Oh my God, man. You just take a cutting off of one of the local plants and stick it in the soil, pour water on it, it grows. It's like,
hey, I can do that with blackberry.
You don't even have to do that. Just throw it on the ground, run it over with a truck, and it'll take root and grow. Man, those things are tough, boy.
Linda, that's just the beginning. 300. I'm just thinking, like, I don't even know the number of the channels that I'm subscribed to anymore.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's not about subscribing to them necessarily. It's about a group that's growing inside, where you guys can just kind of exchange ideas and also teach others, because a lot of people aren't successful when they go to grow inside, and you might know something somebody else doesn't. It's basically that. That's all. But I understand. Totally get it. We all have a hard time keeping up with supporting one another on YouTube. In fact, I need to watch this lady's, some of her videos. She's like video queen. I can barely keep up with Laura.
Keep the shorts though, because those work.
Diva told me that. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, she's got a lot of great advice.
Yeah, the shorts. That's what I started doing, and that's how I too.
Okay.
So
definitely.
I experimented with. I've never used neem oil, but I got that from this lady here, the neem oil.
Yeah.
And I noticed some gnats were coming out of the soil of one of my house plants, so I experimented with it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just one spritz of that neem oil on the soil, and the gnats went Ah! Man, they
Yeah.
got out of there right now. I don't know. So it's like, yeah, sharing ideas. I've never used neem oil, but it sure as hell works, man.
David passed on. Go ahead, Laura.
That's why I want to interview people about gardening, because I want to learn more.
Me
constantly, I'm reading a book or watching a YouTube channel, and we all have so many different ways of gardening. We'll probably end up melding our own thing because we all live in different areas. So you got to take.
And we all have different microclimates in our areas too, and even in our own backyard. That's what I'm finding. And it's driving me crazy. Not to cut you off. Sorry.
Sorry.
My ADHD is like, this morning I haven't had enough coffee to.
Still don't like you, Carol. You can grow tropical plants anytime you want, man. I
can kill them really well too, Bob. I kill them great. I'm a great killer of all
You're not
plants.
supposed to say that.
Hey, that's how you learn. You kill things.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think new people should know that. Like, that you're going to kill plants. Dear new gardeners, like I'm going to have to do a short on that.
Especially if you're starting seeds, you're going to have to kill some.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What's up with the fungus that starts with your new, like when you're doing new seeds? What do you do with the fungus? Cinnamon? Like sometimes the little
cinnamon does. Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm going to go grab some Tylenol.
In fact, I have to do some.
Okay, Barry. Oh. Barry's not feeling too great.
I can see it on his face, yeah.
I need another cup. Watch this, Passamaquoddy. No, okay, I still need to go put water in it. Yeah, I think it was retaining too much water, but it makes me, it's also inside, Billy. It makes me nervous about what I got going in the air. We always have fungus among us in South Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
okay. Yeah, I've done that too. The watering from the bottom.
You can water from the bottom, but you can also use one of these.
A mister. I have one of the ones that you pump. That's the hand pump one. Like you can use for hair too. Like it's
dollar store, honey.
Yes. Oh,
$5 at the dollar store.
No, I'm gonna go check my dollar store. That's a great little mister. Yes, with the hands. Yes, I agree. Yes, we have fungus in the air all the time, Billy, in every humid climate.
You can do a little soap in your water too.
Oh, like the Castle soap? Because I do have some Castle soap that I haven't tried. How much? Like, do you know how much you put in?
Just a pinch.
Like a little drop in something like that, like that you have. Okay.
That will keep any fungus gnats away.
Yeah, I'm using Clean Mix. It's in the air, Billy. I'm really thinking it's in our air.
I'll go check that. I'll be right back. I'm going to go check that plant and see if the gnats have come back or not. I put that neem oil on there, so be right back.
I know, Pass. We now have the same colors going. I love that color of my, and I got that because my mom came down with a KitchenAid mixer in that color, and I always love that color. I even painted their front door that color a long time ago when I painted. Thank you. When I painted their house dark gray. Down here, the counties used to recycle paint. And it was like you would get a choice of like tan and, dark gray and something else. And I went and got paint. I was still in Broward and I got paint though for my parents' house and not Broward and helped them out. And when I painted the front door that color, it popped and it looked great. But my mom was like, oh, I don't really like that color blue.
Oh.
Freaking painted your whole house, Mom. Really?
I did that when I lived in Oregon. They recycled paint, and I painted my house tan because it needed painting.
Yeah, our little townhouse. We were in a little HOA down in Broward at the time, which I wish we could have hung on to that and had the money set aside to come up and buy a house up here. But we needed the equity and got out just quick enough while the market was crashing to get just a little bit to help us get in here, which was a foreclosure. But yeah, I wish too, like we could have kept that place because it was right across from a major casino now and could rent it out, but it would probably get trashed by the people renting it for the weekend and things like that. Let's see, it's going from February 1st of cabbage, broccoli. Yeah, see, I can't. Radishes, you had to get them in by February 1st. Our radish season, unless you do them indoors, is can't do it.
There must be something to that watering from below, because
there is.
It draws the roots down.
Right.
Yeah.
The Berkey starter thing, it was like 72 slot starter. It's like a little greenhouse, but it's got a pad in it, and the pad sits on these risers, and then the water's in the bottom of the tray. So it pulls that water up, and then it goes up underneath from, waters and the roots. There were times I was trying to get plants out of that little seed starter, and I'm having to be careful with the roots because I was trying to save the tray to use it again. I probably won't be able to, but because it was hard to get the roots through.
One thing I got to say about starts. I love this for beginning my starts, right? So when you just got that seed kind of sitting on the surface and all of that stuff, it's really good for that.
By the way, my secondary channel I just popped in. I kept my Fishes and Loaves Life channel.
Oh, nice.
As an aside,
but once you get that seedling at a certain size, it's better to water from below. So you're getting that root structure in there. Yeah. And then as soon as you're at your second leaf with anything, start watering. Except for onions, you want to, as soon as that if you got onion seed going, as soon as that onion is fully erect, then you want to fertilize that. So,
hold on. All right, let's get it out of there first. All right.
49 or more. 49
PBS Kids family. Yeah, you water from the bottom for orchids too. So I've done bottom watering before. They seem to do better from bottom watering for some reason. But
so how do you bottom water an orchid?
You sit it in water or in fertilized water, which I haven't done in so long. I need to get because that's the one thing I will use, just a generic like 10-10-10 on water soluble, because it's flowers. I'm not eating them. And you put that in the water and soak it, like either in a tray or if you have a sink to do it in. Hey, Moon.
Okay, so while it's still in its pot.
Yeah, well, they do interior, exterior pots. Yeah. Wickasha. What's up, Wickasha?
Yeah, clean your seed trays if you're reusing them every year. Always water from the bottom. When you get your first set of inert mix, you got to pre-soak it, obviously, or the seeds aren't going to germinate. Heat mats are going to help.
Not here. I don't need a heat mat.
Yeah, it's 80 there all year round.
I can put it on top of the fridge, and that's about all the heat I need. It's off the fridge, and I'm like a heat mat.
So you know how there are super special people like on the internet and YouTube that you just look at and they're brainiacs and they know like everything about the nursery, starting and growing flowers and foods and vegetables, and they can tell you about food, health, nutrition, and all that stuff, and it's just they know everything. Yeah. I had that guy about a half mile from my house. He had a nursery. Every plant he sold looked fake, like it was made out of plastic and painted to perfection. All his starts, his fruits, his vegetables, all his soil was perfect. He mulched, he conditioned his soil, he tested, he did everything I wanted to do, and I wanted to become, what do you call those people who don't get paid that work with you?
Volunteer.
Pro bono is for a lawyer.
This is no lawyer. Anyways, that's what I wanted to become with him. I was visiting, he was a doctor. So doctor, they called him, but he wasn't a real doctor. He was a nursery doctor, whatever. He could come to your garden. You give him about a few days, he'd come back and he'd change a few things around. He would tell you what you need to do differently for the types of plants. And he would break down your little backyard garden and have it cured within a few months. It would just all cure up. And he says, next year, what you're doing is great, but don't buy this, don't do that. That's all crap. And he was like, you have to be honest with me. Don't tell me you're buying organic seaweed infused fish emulsions and all this stuff. Let me see your open up your shed. Let me go in there. Let me look at what you're using. And he's pulling out all the Walmart and all the dollar store generic crappy fertilizers, and he's just like, this is where all your problems starting from. So he would take that stuff, put it in a trash bag, walk to the trash barrels, go to his car and put it in there, and guarantee that stuff was going out to the dump, and telling people, knock it off. Man, he would tell them, don't. He goes, I know you want to pick up the PBPs, the BPPs, the DBPs, dumb people bags. They're all the leaves and lawn. He goes, don't do that unless you know that the neighbor is organically growing their lawn. He goes, I guarantee that the green lawn company comes by spraying all that crap.
Oh boy,
with, insecticides and pesticides, and you think you're composting it. And he goes, what, you composted it hot for what, a couple of weeks and threw it in your garden? Look at everything. Your tomatoes are brown. They're spotted out. Everything's dwarfed. Nothing's growing. Stuff is bent over and dried. And your ground, he sticks it in there and just dripping from his fingers. He's like, it's mud. And he goes, come here, stick your nose in this. Pulling apart the mud, smelling it. It smells like a bunch of eggs. He's like, everything's he's just trying to tell people how to do stuff. And he was that kind of a guy. And he would have talks at the local town center. It was in Chelmsford. And we met him there at a market garden, because what he would do is, he would be there and he would have books and pamphlets and all that stuff. You could go visit his nursery that was pretty close by down the street. He would go to the market gardens to watch all the people growing their food, and he would inspect all the fruit and vegetables because he wanted unique varieties that they were growing. He was also checking for fruit and vegetable health. How cool is he? They
Right
just knew him as the doctor.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah. Just wanted to share something.
But what I've noticed in the nurseries down here, Billy, is what I was going to say is all the soils have a fungus or an algae on top of them in the nurseries. So I'm really not sure how they're bypassing it yet, but that's a good idea. Is I'll just start quizzing them. But a lot of them do it from cuttings, or they just go down to Miami and buy in bulk from them and then bring it up.
So most of the time,
mark it up. Go ahead.
What color is the top? Is it a white fuzz? Or is it
that happened to me once, the white fuzz, and I think that was top watering that did it. The other that we get full on algae on the soil if you do it outside, like you start outside on the patio, you can get full on algae because it's in the air. It's always in the air here. Like our sidewalks, you have to bleach your sidewalk because it grows algae here.
Wow.
So in water in general, when you have too much nutrients in water, too much nutrients, and you have an extended period of sunlight, and you have to have water. You need to have, so you're over watering. B, there's too much nutrients in the soil because you might be fertilizing. Thinking, you fertilize, and you really don't need to until it gets up potted into compost, which has everything a plant needs at a 3:1:2 ratio. Then it goes out to the garden.
Most of them use the granulated slow release fertilizer. A lot of the ones down here are not organic at all because it's so hard.
Too. I mean, it's
so hard to be organic.
Anything organic here.
Yeah, it's very hard because it just is a lot of tending to. Even my husband, who's in, like, I don't use our grass because even if he hasn't done the backyard in so long, it's in the soil. So I don't compost our grass cuttings. Plus, it might include the stuff from the front, which I know is sprayed for his business, like that he works for. It's not his own. But neighbors and the neighbors oversight. But they're pretty good. The company that he works for, they didn't use the stuff that's in the class action lawsuit. They don't use that stuff. So I'm very grateful for that because I asked him because I was really getting concerned when that was going on.
Yeah, you don't want that anywhere.
But most nurseries here are not organic because we have no bug die off. None. They don't die here. They just keep going.
They don't really die here either is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys get a cold snap. We don't at all.
Yeah.
It only goes down to 40 here.
Yeah.
Our end goes right back up now.
It doesn't kill the bugs off. It puts the lava dormant. I mean, they're laying billions of eggs underground in the wood inside your soil.
But I mean, our soil never gets cold enough to at least stunt some of the population.
Yeah, so you always have a hot mess out there.
You'll be digging for a plant in the soil here, and you're coming up with these larvae that you.
Oh, I hate that. It's nasty.
You ever get the big fat white ones in the wood?
Yeah. Not in the wood. I get them in our soil. Grubs. We call them grubs.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. They're a large black beetle of some sort.
Yeah.
And
it's nasty though.
Oh, we've had
when you're not expecting it.
Thank God I'm married to an Asian. They can turn into dinner, you know.
I was just thinking, they'll just pick that up with a chopstick. No problem. Throw it in the frying pan.
Just joking.
Some of them will. It's like, you know.
I know.
What is it that too? They eat those ones that used to be in the ships. You know what I'm talking about? Those big, long worms.
Hull worms. Big white hull worms. Hull worm. Hull worm. Something like that.
Turn.
Sorry, Barry. I know mine wasn't. Yeah, mine wasn't.
You ever see the trees? The trees where like Bob lives, somewhere in that neck of the world. They cut the fallen trees down. They separate them, and it just looks like intestines. They're worms.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And they pull them out. They're like, ooh, delicious.
Oh God.
Mango worms. Mango worms.
Yeah,
mango worms.
I don't know. They have like some kind of shipping name, common name from when they used to be in the ships. They used to be in the ship's holes and stuff. Yes, so nasty.
Delicious.
So you were speaking a little truth there, Bob. For sure.
But I was joking. My little Asian doesn't eat that shit. Filipinos
Not your little Asian.
Worms.
She got Bob money. She ain't eating that stuff. Honey, want to eat something traditional and native? Bob, I have you. We're having steak tonight.
You're enough non-native for me.
Yeah, long pork. We're gonna have some long pork. Yeah.
Oh, 49 more. Okay, you have. I wonder where you're about. Got like 136 subs. Oh, he just started. Are you still in here, 49 and more? Welcome.
Back
online.
57. Yeah, he was here about 12 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if he's still here or not because I'm not keeping track of the numbers too well.
Maureen, you have a great day over there.
Oh, have a good day, Maureen.
Maureen,
Catch up with you later.
And she can sing.
I know. I should get some things done. Yay. Procrastination.
Oh,
yeah,
hi, Ladybug.
Nice.
Hi, sweet Buggy.
Wickenshire gave me one of the best compliments I've heard in years. You know, he watched my videos about how when there's a junkie riding by, he goes, that Bob is like a Doberman. He's like a Doberman when something comes around.
Who are you? Get out of here.
I don't know. I think you're more like a Rottweiler because you're so loyal, but you could definitely kick some serious butt. Our Doberman used to kind of pause and smile at the mailman. He wouldn't bark. He would just go.
Laura's muted, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would just sit in our yard and he'd go and show all his teeth, but he was smiling. He was just like, I know who you are.
Oh, okay.
Dobermans are so disgustingly loyal to their owners.
Yeah, they'll sit on your lap like a baby
member.
Too.
Your family member, and the owner walks out of the room, that son of a bitch is nipping on your ankle, looking at you dirty. And the owner walks back in and they curl around and they sit nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What kind of dogs are you talking about?
Rottweilers are that way too.
Oh yeah. That's one of the nicest compliments because normally I'm called paranoid, I'm delusional, etc.
You're ahead of the curve, is all, Bob. You're ahead of the curve. Bob. Yeah.
I mean,
Sheriff Bob.
Sheriff Bob.
People should be going.
I like that.
After today, Bob had it right. You know?
Yeah. That's what we're going to continue to say. I'm afraid is Bob had it right. Bob had it right. Mm-hmm. Bob had it right. Mm-hmm.
So our south window has the ladybugs or whatever beetle they are. I haven't ID'd them. I just let them live there, hoping they're ladybugs. And it's warm out now where I'll collect them all and get rid of them, just like you have them. Right. Not on our north window here. I'm looking. There's not a single one in front of me on my north window.
The house, lady beetles is what they're Asian lady beetles. If they don't have the pattern, that if the pattern's scattered and it's not it's an Asian lady beetle. And it's one of those bugs that can be helpful because it eats aphids, but it does eat your plants too. So
yeah, but it won't. Is it more like leaf damage and not like what the aphids just suck the life out of your plant? Is it a different type of eating?
It's more leaf damage. More leaf damage and stuff like that. But
we have Sri Lanka weevils for that, and they're horrid. Yeah. I have like holy cheese plants in like especially the lychee. They've damaged that so bad, the Sri Lanka weevils. They're little white weevils down here.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Oh, that plant! I put some of that neem oil on yesterday. The aphids are right back, and it seems like there's even more. So, can you guess where that plant and the pot went?
Where?
Out in the garbage.
You do what I do, Bob. Oh, the heck! I don't have time for this overly needy plant.
I'm
Closer.
It's surrounded by all my other house plants. It's like, oh man, I got to do something with this right now.
I can't
Not
even tell if it's
focusing. It's not focusing. It's like, is it brown?
Tell me what the pattern looks like on that.
Yeah.
My eyes at 50. Come on.
Oh, come on. Put your
Why do you
glasses
think
on.
this is what I got? You got to go on Amazon, Billy, and get you some cheetah weedas.
Asian lady beetle.
I like Asian ladies.
Yeah, we know.
Okay,
Yes, Bob.
so
That's a
show
myth.
you what
What?
these suckers
Such a-
look like.
Surprise.
It's pretty uniformed. It's not. It's uniformity, and it's not randomly dotted. It's uniformity, and she is a light red to slight orange. In
Okay,
color.
she's an Asian lady beetle.
Oh, is
Okay.
that good or bad?
Yeah,
Are those the good ones or the bad ones?
the bad ones.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
oh.
Well, now you know what to do with them,
No.
Billy.
No,
They
if
don't
I'm
they're a
going to
little
be doing
bit.
seed starting, so this is got to go. Get me in here.
Chicken feed. Just gather them all. Yeah, chicken.
See that?
Way more
Yeah.
spots than that. More like the red one.
Like this one?
Not the Asian lady beetle with only a couple of dots. She's got way more dots on her.
Yeah, see
She's
the one I
loaded.
just picked up? Way more dots too. She's
Way more
somewhere on
dots.
the border.
You see
They
the
die in
orange
the
one
house.
where it says ladybug in the
Mhm.
little colored square? You see the one with all the little dots over there? It's like that. She's that heavily dotted.
Let's
See if I can.
I'm trying to get to my.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's more orange. She's not red.
Yeah, that's how the ones here are. They're kind of an orange
Yeah.
color. Mhm.
See
I
the
guess
one-
those are the. Yeah.
Can you guys see this? This is the one I've just picked up. It's just
That's
like,
what I have. Yes. Yes, that's it.
okay, that's not a ladybug. That's a
Oh
lady
boy.
beetle.
You gotta go.
So just
Let me go throw her outside. We'll be free.
Yeah, I got the same ones here, Laura.
Those are not the good ones, right?
No.
Yeah, those no, they're not good. They were all. I mean, we have thousands and thousands of them here. They have like an infestation. I have videos where they're like on the whole side of our shop, and our shop is huge. So, yeah.
We get about 50 to 100 on the back window. About half of them are dead.
Yeah.
They survived winter. They're just hanging out. I don't know where they come from. Just appeared. So
Yeah.
must have crawled in through the door. The door's got a crack in it. Yeah.
Right. They're all over in my house, outside, everywhere. So in the fall they were really bad. Really bad. It was gross. I'm like, okay. Yeah. so it was pretty bad. So what other kind of pests?
No infestation of stink bugs this year. Don't ask. I've seen only 1 or 2 or 3. They have
Yeah, me too.
When we lived in Virginia, where the tobacco fields were, we the whole wall and the window was moving, and you'd be sitting there and you'd hear, I'm like, what is he doing? And I pick them up, like, oh, stink bug, throw them. Oh, my fingers.
Yeah.
Here, smell this. Get out of here.
So Bob, you could have used soap water on those aphids too, though.
Oh well. I just wanted to get it out of there before they jump over into all my other potted plants, and
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind too.
Oh, I hear you.
Thank
I've
you,
done
baby.
that.
Love you. Okay.
Love you too.
We'll
yeah,
keep
love
her
you
around.
too, Bob. Love you too.
Got her uniform on. She's heading off to
Aw.
work. Your food is there,
Yeah.
hon. Blew me a kiss. Off she goes.
Oh,
They say nothing like a man in uniform, but I'm sure it does the same thing for you, Bob.
Oh, it does.
want-
Man.
Chicken
She,
feet
buys-
dinner.
she
Traditional.
gets those scrubs that are nice and tight.
Yeah, those
Mm.
state troopers here in Kentucky, the female. Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
You sure you don't need to search me, ma'am?
I want to get in trouble.
Barry's like, I volunteer for a strip search if you need to do that.
I do have a weapon.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were watching that show
What if
that
you
where
could get
they bring
arrested
in
for that?
what was that? Oh,
What if you
arrested
could
for
get
saying
arrested for
that.
You
I
bring
don't
in
know.
like
As long as you don't touch them, I think you're okay. As long as you
Yeah.
say it with like your hands back and you're not, you know. But yeah, we were watching that
mine lets me touch her.
smuggling show, and the guy had like a big old sock in his like he was all cool until they're like, okay, you need to drop the joggers. We are suspecting something.
Oh,
I wonder why he had like a
Yeah.
basketball sock of cocaine in his crotch.
Oh, jeez.
And it was a drug.
It was drugs. Yeah, he had like 2
Okay.
condom or 3 condoms worth to the max of cocaine.
Wow.
Right in.
There's somewhere on the internet, and this guy's so damn famous. Big tall white guy, nerd,
Mhm.
like loser looking dude, just complete just nerd.
This guy looked like a clubber, like he could have been. I think he was a DJ or something.
This
like
guy
that.
was a sweaty mess in his grandmother's basement, okay, and just dump. He's a dump. The police, someone called it in. They grabbed him, and they literally just they got him handcuffed, and he's like, "What?" He's so mellow. He's like, "What did I do?" And they're like, "You know what you got." They're like, "You can't be out in public, and you can't." They're like, "You're carrying," and he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not, man." He's just so laid back. It just he's unaware. And they're like, "You have a weapon," and he's like, "Fine, dude, whatever. Search me, man. I'm talking about And the cop reaches in and he goes, "Yeah, that's my." Can't say it.
Wang?
But he was Wang. He was this big. This guy was hung like a donkey, and he went viral for it.
And he went viral.
The cop is reaching and grab. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my."
You know that was
And
a
he
setup,
mine.
though. You know that guy is like, maybe I can get into porn. You dress like a cop, and we'll make some money.
Viral. He had his 15 minutes of fame all over the place. I'm surprised you guys. I saw that story.
I
Yeah,
bet he did. That's lovely.
Every hub
Yeah.
place is probably call him. You should be a special guest on the hub.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
You won't show your face because you're a wreck.
Forgive me for saying that, guys.
Yeah, it's just no.
Yeah. Asian ladies, and they'll tie a ribbon around it. You don't go any farther than that.
That's my so they have other females know that's spoken for. Is that why? Oh my gosh,
No,
that's a great idea.
because they're small. They're very,
It's
very
service.
small.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Puking.
morning
You know,
show.
yeah.
We're a morning show, guys. Okay.
Morning show.
Mhm.
I
Morning show.
didn't say anything specific.
I know. I was
Really-
dumb enough to ask. Sorry.
My autism is truth. So it's just gonna. There's no. What do you call it?
No,
That
we
stops
love
you.
justice. Yeah,
Same
we
here,
love
same
justice
here.
and truth. We love
So,
justice.
what about
Yeah.
this weather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about those ladybugs?
It's raining. And my
I'm
garden is
just-
getting watered.
I'm so upset that like
So, Lickashire, do you have anything in your garden beds right now? There we go.
What
Change
garden
the subject.
bed? What garden bed?
Do you have
watched
garden
any
beds?
videos? There's no garden bed out there. There's a couple of trees planted.
Okay.
Okay, so the idea
Your
is we
in-ground
have
garden.
it's clay soil. Nothing's growing in there. So what we have to do is we're ordering those cloth bags, 5,
Yeah.
7, 10 gallon.
Mhm.
We're gonna go with
Yeah.
that route. Then
are you
we're gonna
doing
use-
the kiddie
I wouldn't
pool?
order those. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Go ahead.
You're gonna kill me because I then have to come up with something else. I'll
Yeah.
go with 5 gallon BPA free pails if I have to and drill
There
them
you
and go
go.
that route.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Talk to
Laura
the wife.
did that. You did that at your old house, right, Laura?
Yeah.
The cloth
And
with
they
the
dry out. They dry out like crazy.
it
they dry
suctions it.
out.
You're
Okay.
super air pruned. Oh my god.
Yes.
Great.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna pound in the rebar, the 2 foot, 3 foot rebar into the ground, and we're gonna arc the
Mhm.
PVC that's under the house. I got
Mhm.
like 8 lengths of 20 foot, cut them in half, 10 foot curls, and then we were gonna do bug netting and just do a high tunnel bug netting. Is 5 or 6 feet a high tunnel? Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
My wife's shorter than I am. I'm 5'6", she's 5'2".
That's me. I'm 5'2".
We just lean. How you, Carol? Seriously?
I'm 5'2". When you see me with my
You seem like
daughter,
5'2".
she says she's like 5, but she's like 4'10". At least
Same with
she's
my
got to be
wife.
4'10".
Yeah.
She's like, I'm 5 foot. I'm like, I don't think think so. 'Cause
I'm 5'8" in
and
cowboy boots. So, but then with the bug netting, and then I have to pick up the same stretch of polytunnel film, UV garden grade, not the painter's tape preventer. That crap that melts in about six months. So that's where we're going to go with it. So yeah, that's where we're at now. We're waiting for the bag purchases that you're telling me not to do.
So I mean, you just have to water a lot more with those.
What water? I'm off grid. I don't have a well. I got a 55-gallon bucket out there that drips from the roof moisture every morning.
Yeah,
that's like terracotta down here. It's like a waste.
Listen,
don't put anything.
Once a week guaranteed.
Terracotta.
Twice a week sometimes.
I know,
twice a week.
but it's still not going to be enough water. You know why? Because of all the airflow through them. They dry out twice as fast as like just a above garden bed of any kind.
Okay.
So yeah.
So the 5-gallon buckets again. Go back to those. Yeah.
My brain's ticking. So I have to put a plastic cylinder on the inside wall. And I can use a plastic.
Yeah, to cut down on it I would still put them in like maybe a kiddie pool, so they have that. You can do the watering from below.
Right.
That's
you
good.
can do that.
Ghetto though. Kiddie pools are ghetto. They just. I'm ghetto enough as is.
Well,
I've got ghetto. I used to garden in kiddie pools. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing ghetto about it.
One of my best videos.
You could submerge them, but I don't know about digging into your earth there.
What about putting some of that clay soil around it to hold
it?
On
like
the inside, make a shell.
Like a berm.
No, I'm not. I need to be able to pick them up and move them. So we get the cloth bags. Yeah, I can say that. Cloth bags. Fill it with soil. Put the clay and earth around it. Put in soil. Put the clay earth around it, and just kind of make a shell on the inside. I could do that.
Now, Laura, do you punch holes?
No knocking.
Pool or
Sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay, I kind of figured, but I had to ask somebody.
How did the sweet taters go when you did those in the kiddie pool?
Great.
Right. I thought they did. So you had
potatoes, all kinds of stuff in kiddie pools.
What kind of soil are you using though? The native?
I'm using mostly compost and native mix.
Oh, anything grows in compost.
The mix. But the mix. She
succulents.
mixes it. She's still using native, though.
Yeah.
Doing both.
And you know what I'm putting on the bottom? If you watch some of my old videos, I took a huge kiddie pool that I found on the side of the road, put charred wood in there, put all kinds of leaves in the bottom, and then put in my native compost or soil, which I gathered close to the woods. So if you gather your soil close to the woods, it's going to be a lot more broken down. You're going to have a lot of nutrients in it. If you don't
more biodiverse.
So you don't get your soil from right here. And then bring that in, and then I added compost on top.
Okay. Yep. That's what I have in my car right now. I have vermiculture. Help me. The compost that's made by little worms.
Worm
castings.
Worm castings. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of how you make it instead. The word of how you make it was coming in and
I have worm castings.
blocking. I love it when a word comes in and blocks the right word out of your brain. It's like, no, it's not. It's not that one.
No, I'm telling you, I'd rather go kiddie pool any day than those mesh things here. And I mean, they worked great in Oregon.
Yeah.
Where you had the constant high humidity. Here in California, Tennessee, it's just too warm.
Where you guys are at. Yeah, there's too much airflow that is drying them out. Yeah.
She's literally up the river north of me, a little bit to the east.
Yeah. And I also have, I don't know if you have this, I have heavy winds that I have to, that sucks.
Yeah. She's not in a valley. She's like up
3
on.
miles an hour here.
You're higher elevated, right?
Yeah.
It looks like when we see your property.
Like 600 600 feet. And
Okay.
I'm on, talk about ridge life. Our name isn't ridge life, but we are literally on top of the ridge of the property.
Okay.
Yeah, something happened with Tim. He's in the hospital. Yeah, ATV accident, blew out his knee or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Tim
yikes.
from Ridge Life.
Yikes.
He's down past Jackson, kind of down that way. He's about an hour and a half from us.
Well, I'm going to have to go, guys. I'm going to go get something to eat. So
pretty soon I'm going to have to too.
peace out, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Bob, isn't it like 1 a.m. there?
No, he's not in the Philippines. He's on the Pacific Coast.
No, I'm not in the Philippines right now.
You're over that side. You're down there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to end this. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Peace, everybody.
I appreciate it. God bless you guys. See you next time.
All right. Have a good day.
Oh, bye, Howie.